Hey everybody, sorry about that. Little technical difficulty, but we are here and we are live. Welcome to Eternal Mooncast, a streaming show all about Sailor Moon fan theories. We cover everything from the prominent to the obscure in the Mooniverse. We're your co-hosts, Michi and
Celine. But first, before we begin, a quick Mooney disclaimer. We would like to remind everyone that these are just our personal opinions. We do not in any way represent Toy or the Sailor Moon intellectual property. Tonight, we delve into Sailor Moon merchandise through the ages. Joining us on this chaotic, toy-filled mayhem is a guest we are happy to welcome back to the show. Thank you for allowing us to kidnap you, Age, or as you all might know her, Sailor Tortilla.
Hey,
yay!
thank you so much for having me on.
So,
I
Asia, you want to
am
tell us a little about yourself?
sure. So, I have been collecting since 1995. I am a huge fan of Sailor Moon, always and forever, seemingly into my old age. So, you'll probably see me in 2045, really wrinkly, but moontastic. I did not pay for those balloons, but I'm very happy they're there. But thank you for bringing me back.
Yes, thank you for coming back.
Yes, in our big season 4, which, yes, we're on season 4 of the show. So I'm excited though. This is a topic that we've talked about doing for a long time, but we never just got around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because out of the two of us, Celine is the bigger collector.
I'm the hustler of the Sailor Moon merchandise.
But we're so excited to have Sailor Tortilla here as our. I can speak. This will all get cut. But we're so excited to have Sailor Tortilla here as our expert in Mooney merchandise.
I promise I've got so many props all the way to the left, to the right. We are going to talk about so many fun things, including proplicas, a little bit of rare merchandise. This isn't really rare, but it's rare for me because Helios is so underrepresented.
So badly.
All the
We love him.
Helios merch I have is with Small Lady Princess Serenity in my collection. So that's where I kept him. But I only have a few pieces, and it's very cherished that I even have any of him because there's really nothing.
Nothing at all. I've seen plush go in the hundreds lately, and I don't know about you guys, but I can't do that at all.
Oh, like
In this economy? No.
in this economy, no, I
I'm
want PGSM Sailor, PGSM plush Artemis more than anything in my whole collection because I have Luna, but I don't have Artemis, and it makes me so upset. But he goes for like $299, and I'm talking like $299.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
best part about those plush is that they're accurate to the show, unlike other
Mm-hmm.
things. Like they are legit what you saw in the show. And I think I
Mm-hmm.
have a PGSM item right here. I have a brooch. Hello.
Oh, would you mind
Oh, do
showing
you
us?
have her brooch?
I do. So I got this from another Sailor Moon collector, Sailor Samara, many years ago. It originally came with like a lipstick that makes it make a noise. I bought it without the
Mm-hmm.
lipstick because I don't care about that. But if you
Yeah,
like
it
PGSM,
activated it.
it did. I'm not sure this one still works, but one of my only pieces of PGSM merch, actually.
Hmm.
That's so cool though that you have the locket. I like that
Just the
you're like,
locket.
but you're like ready to go to like Magical Girl War. Like you have every item. Like you got the wands, you got the lockets. Like if our world were to turn anime real, you would be prepared.
I like to think so. I've got the real stuff. I've got the bootleg stuff. If I might, can you tell which is which? Because sometimes I
Ooh,
can't.
I was gonna say like sometimes they get really darn close with those bootlegs.
They do. But yeah, if you guys want to dive in, let's go.
Let's start at the beginning. The first Sailor Moon toys. Now, this is something, Celine, I know you're a big proponent of.
It's it's one of the things I've tried to collect. It's actually very hard. Just because you have to think we actually played with this shit in the 90s. I actually have my original dolls that I played with, and them girls look rough. Because I like full on played with these things. Like I would actually like wash their outfits, I would do their hair. I didn't cut any of them, thankfully, but like those dolls are in very rough condition. Those are the adventure dolls, of course, that came out in the States. But it wasn't the thing is you have to realize Sailor Moon, when it was made, while it was supposed to be up to the manga because it was so popular, they did certain things because they wanted to sell stuff. Toei is a toy company, and they want to sell stuff. So that's one of the reasons, just to touch on PGSM, that is actually one of the reasons PGSM got canceled, is because their merch wasn't selling. So it wasn't just that the show was popular, actually, but because they weren't selling enough, Toei was like, and good day. So
I can't believe I didn't
what
know
else came
that.
out? For Japan, they did have dolls, and they were very stiff looking, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to think. They had they're really big on like towels and stuff like that for merch. And pins. They had enamel pins. What do you go ahead, Tortilla, because you probably have some of the first stuff that we saw, like for Japan
So
or for us here.
yeah, I think you make a good point. They were a little stiff, but they had these beautiful faces in Japan, but they did have like the stiff arms, which came back when they did the style dolls. I'm looking around because I know there's one nearby. I can feel it. I brought it out.
You feel it in your butt. You're
I
like, it's right
feel
here.
it.
It's somewhere.
I just had it. Well, for example, this is not one of the first adventure dolls. This is from like the 2000 when Irwin took over, but you'll notice there's no articulation here. They did kind of come out with these corrected faces. She looks scared to me. She doesn't look that cute, but they had these really ugly faces. I even have my first item of Sailor Moon merch right next to me, and it's a pair of shoes, which I know
What?
sounds a little weird. Yes.
Yes,
So
tell us.
one day, my mom brought this home from Toys R Us. This is a shoebox. It was a pair of tennis shoes. I have kept this item ever since. This
Oh
was
my
before I
God.
saw the show. That logo is not the logo that they used. And the pair of shoes here is not mine. I later got on eBay and found someone who still had them because I goodwilled them like a big dummy. And you'll notice that Sailor Venus is the one featured on the shoe.
What?
I thought she was Sailor Moon for a really long time. So kind of interesting in that they started just shoes, kid shoes we used to have Toys R Us and Kids R Us. Kids R Us was where they sold clothes. So I think this was a Kids R Us product in reality. And all they wanted to do was sell to little girls. And that's kind of the Hasbro model. That's the Transformers model. And it wasn't just the US. It was Italy as well. And all around the world, really. I even have one of the oldest Sailor Moon items in my collection, even older than my shoebox. I got this from a private collector. It's from Korea from 1992. And
Oh, wow.
it's kind of like you said, like they do towels. This is a tote bag. They love towels. They love little boring, useful items. You can notice it's still in the packaging because I would never dare to use this. That is the
Yeah.
oldest item I have.
That's so
the
cool.
dolls, there's a doll nearby, and I will find it while we're chatting.
Earl loves that you said even older than my shoebox is a great line.
Yeah. I know why they do the towels. It's because they don't have paper towels and they don't have hand dryers in Japan. Just so you guys know, if you go to Japan, please buy the small little towels. Otherwise, you're going to be drip drying. And
It's
that's
true.
no fun.
And they also love
I'm
neck
trying to think
towels
of
for
what's the
sweat.
oldest thing in my collection. I do have some of the little gashapons, like the really, really old ones, back when the series was first coming out. And they're little tiny figures. And they're a little ugly. But I have like the small gashapons. I'm trying to think what else I have because a lot of my stuff came from not the golden age. It came a little bit later. I only have a couple of things from very old Sailor Moon, which is like I have the adventure dolls. And I have the wands. I actually did get my hands on all of the wands. I was very fortunate. One of my friends was getting rid of their Sailor Moon collection. She was like, I'm not attached to this. And I was like, bitch, what do you want? How much do you want? I will take, and then I saw the wands were in there and I was like, I'm gonna need this. Because it was all the original, like either Japanese or it was the English ones.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't the dark blue, such as I'm pulling another thing right off camera. Because I remember the dark blue boxes.
Yes, that's what
So
I
I
had.
have that one. So I have that one, but then I've got the Japanese like Kaleidoscope and the Japanese Eternal.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
And
see that I never got my hands on. I was not lucky enough to live in a place that imported many things. That is, I still kind of have a desire to get a vintage Eternal TRA. It's the dream.
It does have like the smallest of like sun damage, and I was like, I don't care. I was like, and it's in the original box too.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I have not taken it out. The other wands didn't come with boxes, so they're in a display case, of course. But it's funny because you look at this stuff and people are like, well, wasn't there more? Because you see so much now. I need you guys to understand when Sailor Moon was coming out, it was dolls. It was the wands, the lockets. I do have my locket from when I was a kid, my original moon locket.
Is it the pink one? That's like a combination of
Yeah.
the season 1 and season 2.
Mhm.
What a strange item that was. I sold mine 1,000 years ago, and I don't know if I regret it because I love what's accurate to the show. Not so
Mhm.
much this strange amalgamum in North America, but I treasured it as a kid. I felt like I had the silver
Do
crystal
you
for
have
real.
the motorcycle? The
No,
moon
I remember seeing it at KB Toys, and all of this stuff, by the way, was like on clearance. The toys
Oh
clearly were
yeah,
not selling.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were
always.
like $5, which is how I ended up with my original collection. And the motorcycle was one of those things. It's literally Sailor Moon on a motorcycle. Oh no, so no, no,
Mhm.
no, no, no. That's a Korean bootleg item. It's the moon cycle. It's like a
Yeah.
Mhm.
pink moon, like a chariot, if you will.
Mhm.
And I remember my mom's like, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "I don't know her. I don't know what that is, and I
No.
don't want it." I'm like 7 years old, and I'm like, "No, no, no. That's not a thing." And now it's probably one of the rarer items you'll ever find. Frustrating.
It's in my case. It's my original one, and I thankfully found all of the parts to it somehow.
Ugh.
Because like the little stars in the front and there's like stars with a trail on them that hook to the back, they popped out very easily. It is in one of the pictures, the picture I gave you, Michi, with all of the moons, all of the Figuarts.
Yeah.
That one, she's in the background.
Let me pull those up.
That one, I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
If you'll be able to get in close enough.
Let me see.
I also have they sold it as a jewelry box, and it was called the Sailor Moon jewelry box. It is supposed to be, yeah, she's all the way back there in the back.
In the way I see her.
Right there. She's way back there.
Let me see if I can make this better somehow. Nope.
Um,
It's not gonna let me. But yeah, that's the
yeah.
moon cycle.
That's the moon cycle. It's all the way back there. A lot of those in there are Proplica brooches. But there was a Venus crescent, which I do have the jewelry box. And they did have the star locket, which was very hard to find. I remember seeing it as a kid in Kmart, and my parents refused to get it for me.
I didn't know that we had a star locket. I really thought that was only Japan.
No,
We
we
did.
did. We did. It was at
Oh.
Kmart because I wanted it too, and my parents also said no.
What a
And
thing to
my
learn on this
dumbass,
day.
my
That's
dumbass,
wild.
I saw it at a con years ago at Otakon, right?
Yeah.
And the person wanted just $50 for it, and I didn't have $50. I thought it was a lot of money, and it was in the
Oh.
original dark blue box. And let me
Oh,
tell
that's
you
painful.
that I should have asked one of my friends for the fucking money. Excuse my F-bomb. I should have asked for the money, and I didn't. And to this day, I regret it, and I cry about it. I cry about it at night.
I
Your
don't blame
eyes.
you at all. I felt that way about the
50
Lunosphere when it
bucks.
finally came out. Oh,
Like $50. Yeah.
but I do want to go
$50.
back to the Crescent Moon Cutter, which is what it's called in the comic for Sailor V. That was another
Mhm.
weird one
Yeah.
because that was not in the Sailor Moon show, and yet they made the toy for us. They later made a little miniature keychain during the revival. And that's an item that I wanted to bring out, but I think it's in my for sale bid. I'm
Mhm.
shameful. I sell the Sailor Moon toys that I do not play with. And that is probably one of my favorite boxes too, because you can see the whole jewelry box in the window of the box, which they don't do anymore. They really don't really do windowed toys anymore outside of like
Yeah.
the Mega Cats, which I think I have one right here.
I've got for the Mega Cats, I only have Mercury. I need to get all of them.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're
They
so
look
hard
really
to get.
great if you stack them on top of each other. Any box that can show an item, I feel like is just the most superior option you could choose for. And Bandai Toei have neglected to do that as of late. I do have a Proplica box right here. More toys now are just like this. It is what it is. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you never buy it. You never buy it in the storefront. Very strange.
Very.
Now, I think it's a lovely box, but I don't see mom and dad buying that for their college age kid at GameStop.
No. Could you imagine? They're like $125 for what?
Exactly.
You know.
Versus it was $6.99 at Kmart.
But yeah, we did have the Star Locket, and like I said, I kick myself every single time. Like I remember it that I did not get it at Otakon. It was sitting right there in arm's reach. There was, we have the adventure dolls. And those are very near and dear to my heart. It's so funny because like they did like the inner scouts, and then they had those ugly frog faces, inner scouts. What they were, those were the light blue boxes, I think.
They were also dark blue. And what we're
Okay.
talking about when we talk about the frog face dolls is that they had their eyes were like just slightly too low. They're like on the fullness of the cheek. They had these thin little lips. They didn't have the beautiful faces that were available in Japan. It's one of the most I don't understand this decision when they brought the toys over. They were like, "Oh, they look too cutesy." And it looks like they wanted to compete with Barbie. I don't think the girls that were watching Sailor Moon were really looking for more Barbie. Barbie is so ubiquitous. You can get it everywhere. I think we wanted something different. And Sailor Moon was a show that felt different. So why wouldn't the toys feel different? But Bandai America did not make the right choice. And we initially got these very ugly dolls. I'll just call them ugly. I'll call it what it is.
Although the first ones weren't bad. The first ones were a lot cuter than the next set that they came out with. And the next set, like they even had like chubby faces. Like the model or something was like a little bit bigger because they weren't putting it on the original face.
No, it was a different face. It was a completely different face.
They were I don't think I have any of them.
I have one doll, but I'm not sure which one it is. Hang on, I'll go look. I'll grab it real quick.
I know I've had many of these things in the past. Like I've cycled through so many toys that in the past I for sure. And she had like the long hair, like the lovely long hair. The style dolls, I really thought I brought one over here. I'm gonna have to do like Michi and go get it in a second. But even those short hair. Why is her hair only going to her hip? She's Sailor Moon. I don't understand this. But the adventure dolls got it right. At least it went to her ankles.
Yeah,
except the face.
like the whole, like it covered the whole doll. I do love, like we saw the inners, then they came out with the second set of inners, And it was so funny when we finally got the outers for the adventure dolls, because they were like just like snuck in. Like suddenly we had them.
I think it was. Oh, there we go.
That's one of the
I
not. That's
are
kind of
you?
like,
I think that's a frog face doll.
yes, this is a frog face doll. So if you guys look, the eyes were very separated. They didn't proportion with the size of the face. The lips were off kilter. And like they had these faces that like they didn't protrude the nose. It was more like a bump on the front of the doll. That's the reason they call it the frog face doll. You can see like there's no nose, there was no definition for it. But they made it like I just made a hand motion in front of my face, like you guys can freaking see my hands. I'm like making motions in front of my face, and I'm like, Celine, they can't see you.
But we got it. We got the shot
Yeah.
because like that's in direct comparison to, and I keep looking around as if I didn't just grab it. This again is called the pretty face doll, and it's literally just this one to me. She looks scared. It doesn't reflect the anime. It doesn't really. I don't know.
No.
At least she has a
She's
nose
just
though.
wide-eyed like an owl.
Yeah, at least she has
I've
a
tried
nose.
to get rid of this so many times, and I always get a little emotional because like her box is really messed up.
Yeah.
I used to have a pet mouse. Ask me about it.
Oh no.
I was like, that looks like it got nommed.
It did. It genuinely did. I hope it was delicious.
But can we admit though the hair is giving on the dolls? Like
Yeah. Like
the
even
hair is
Neptune's color is very beautiful. And that doll, that looks like one of the 99 2001s. Because that was, it's like you said, they just popped up because the third season didn't come out for us in America for a very long time until the early 2000s. But the dolls had come out prior, which was a little confusing.
They dropped season 3 in 99. It was right before I went to high school. They dropped it because I remember, because I still lived in Florida when the announcement came out on Toonami, because I screamed. I was at my grandparents' house and I just like ran around the house like a chicken with its head cut off. So freaking excited. I was like, oh my God, we're getting more Sailor Moon. We're getting the next season, because it kept just repeating. You know, it would get to the end of the Spectre Sisters, and it would get to the end of the Spectre Sisters restart, and then it got to the end of the Dark Moon Clan. Finally. It took
Eventually.
like 2 repeats for us to actually get the ending for Chibiusa, I think.
I think it was a little more than that because it was, and I know you guys know this, and the people watching this know this, but it was on like USA Network, UPN, Cartoon Network. It was on Fox for a minute. When it was on Fox, I think they only had season 1. I know on UPN it would get to the fight with Rubius.
Yes.
And then go right to episode 1. And then Toonami did their like full moon thing. We're all nodding. We were all there. It was a great time because right after that was an explosion of toys, which is when that light blue box came out for the adventure dolls. The wands even came out in a light blue and a yellow variant. So there's a couple different. If you ever see like a vintage toy that's not dark blue, does not necessarily mean that it's not legit. There were a couple different editions. I no longer have a light blue one, but I do have a yellow cutie moon rod. I love the yellow. It's really it's eye catching. But the dark blue
because it had
for
like
me
stars
is
on it.
It had like even like a little filigree and like roses. Like it was someone at Irwin at the time was thinking about making this attractive to children, and I think that's also when it hit like Walmart, like hardcore. And I also have an Italian toy, if we may, but this one's from the revival. So this one is, we were chit-chatting about this backstage a little bit, but it has 2 Ginzui shows. They're not that dimensional, but there is a blue one for some reason. I can't tell you why. There's even a happy child on the back showing you how you can be a Sailor Scout in your little pink cardigan for some reason. I love it. I love this box.
But you know, that was one of the charms of Sailor Moon toys, was their boxes. Like, there's just something about seeing her on the back in position, like letting you know how much fun you're about to have with those dolls and those wands or
So
like whatever you got.
here's the
My
American one. It just shows you how to put the batteries in. But
Does
it
it
has our
have the little thing on the
girl.
bottom where it shows other toys?
This
Like
one,
the
oh,
oh,
you're
the
right.
mirror.
The
Yeah,
mirror.
I remember that.
That was a
My
good
God.
call out. I sold this mirror on eBay for like $80 and it was a horrible mistake. You'll constantly hear me say this. Like I've had so many different collections over time because I find, this is my personal opinion, I don't even know if us on the call agree. I think the toys got better after
Yeah,
the revival.
Absolutely.
100%.
My statues that I have now are stunning. Stunning. Do I still collect the old stuff? Yes. Nostalgia wise, I do. And going back to the adventure dolls, it was funny because we did have those different colored boxes. And that's why, like, if you guys are buying it and you see it's either dark blue, baby blue, or a yellow box, okay? This is for people who want to start collecting and they want those dolls like nostalgia wise. Look up what dolls actually came out, okay? Because if someone has a small 7-inch Sailor Saturn, it's not real. Okay. Saturn only came out in the 11-inch, 11.5 inch. Okay. So
And
stuff
she's
like
still
that.
very rare.
Yes. I would probably die if I could get a hold of her. My Sailor Saturn collection actually is fairly substantial considering. I've got some of the old, it was the fake looking like Nendo that they did. Did you ever see those? They looked like
Oh, those are real.
Nendos.
It's the
The
Mega House DX, the
Yes.
deluxe.
Yeah. I have the Sailor Saturn one. Um I used to like really hardcore back in like 2018. I was very much like on the hunt. This is when I was able to use like Facebook Marketplace and fuck what was the one site? It they changed it and they sold it. It was like you'd be able to like hover over the map and find a bunch of sales in that area. I can't remember. It was an app.
That sounds really
Um
cool. I've never got to use something like that, but that figure
And it
is
wasn't like
so hard to
Macari or
find.
anything. This was kinda like it was almost like Facebook Marketplace, but, like, you could, expand yourself to, like, 300 miles and, pop your little pin down and see all of the stuff that was on sale. I forget what it was called. But the amount of Sailor Moon stuff that I got because people did not know what they had, um, during that time, because that was right before, um Crystal had been announced. It was, I think, just starting to show. Um, and this was when Viz was doing their redub. That was the era that I was collecting all this stuff.
Maybe like
Um,
2015, I wanna say.
yes, because it was for the 20th anniversary. They announced Crystal, but they didn't show it till like 2 years later, if I remember correctly, like a year or two later. Um, and then Viz was like, "We're gonna redo all the dubs." Cool. Um, So, like I said, for the adventure dolls, guys, if you look for those 3 boxes, there are a lot of characters, but please Google who actually got a doll. Now, it's really weird because they um like Tomoe got one, Emerald, I have her, uh Rubius got one. Um Beryl, of course, has one. She was in the first set. There's a ton of people that actually got one, and all the outers got one except for Saturn for a small one, just so you know.
You know
But
which
I
else
find it
there
funny because
was?
they what?
There was a Professor Tomo in the 11-inch, and I had him, and I
What?
hated him. Got rid of that one
What?
He was
too.
a little creepy
I
looking.
He has a lab coat, and it's all cloth, and his hair, they have wonderful hair, but his hair was like a big fluff. That one's real too. I don't know how rare it is. I don't care. He is gone from my collection. Too weird for me.
That's so funny.
Sorry, I was chewing something.
No, and
It was weird though for those dolls because they would put them in weird outfits that weren't the Sailor Scout outfits. That was seen for especially Pluto, and I do have the alternate colored Pluto. They gave her a different colored outfit, and she was like silver, as you guys can see in this picture. Her outfit was silver. Now, if you look right next to her, right there, that is the corrected color. I was lucky enough that someone was selling this on one of the Sailor Moon buy sell trade groups I'm on in Facebook. And I was like, I don't have the Pluto doll. I'm still missing like Neptune and Uranus. They're some of the hardest dolls to find because people are a fan of them. Um, but I think Pluto is one of the only ones who got like a weird outfit change color. And then they had different sets of dolls. Like I said, these were like super random and they didn't come out all over the stage, which is really weird. There was these ones that you could put them on a pedestal that rotated. Yeah, it's a little red pedestal. And then there was super boxes that would have a alternate outfit. And the alternate outfit was like their civilian clothing. So they had some like really cool like dolls that came out, but like I said, they were so random. I don't remember seeing them like when they went further into the dolls because I feel like they were only in certain parts of the United States. They
Or
had to be.
Canada. I
Or
think
Canada.
there was like a civilian Usagi and Chibi Usa. I mean, Serena and
Yes.
Rini. And I think that was only in Canada. And I actually have something that was only in Canada now that I sparked that thought.
ooh, what you got?
This is a board game called The Web of the Negaverse. That's what they call.
What?
Yeah, that's what they call the Dark Kingdom in the dub for those of us oldies. And it
Interesting.
has the pieces inside. You'll notice that it's in both English and French. The description. This was only in Canada. We never got a game until the revival. And for whatever reason, there's only Mercury back here. There's like a barrel. It's very hard to see. Where is? I don't know. It looks like they're dead. I don't know. Kind of like the end of season 1.
It does.
It's a little spooky. Now we have a Monopoly game that I do not like.
No, it's not fun.
Well, I love Monopoly. The thing is that Sailor Moon Monopoly, you can buy the characters, which is a little strange to me.
I haven't played it. It's still wrapped.
I mean, you
I
can
never
check it
got it.
out.
Or
It's
no.
Monopoly, but it's like, why am I buying characters? And what am I renting? Monopoly's not it. We've got other games like Imposter and Dice Challenge, but for those, I too have not unwrapped them.
Yeah.
I also only have like 2 people in this household, so I'll play it when I can.
I also have the puzzles. The one puzzle I still have not, I really want to build is the one from the Sailor Moon store. And that's with all of the pictures of Sailor Moon, the little tiny pictures that they make it look like it's Sailor Moon. Is there
Those
a
are
vintage
very
toy
cool.
y'all would like to see get re-released or remade? I would like to see the Stallion Reve be redone. That is one of my holy grail items. It's the chalice that Helios resides in the show. It was released back in, was one of the things in Japan. And what is so rare about it is they didn't make a lot. And inside there were little figures. And the hardest part to get is to get the chalice in good condition and still working with the little figures. I would love to see that actually remade. I know that they made, because I have it. It was the scent thing, the little scenty thing. They remade it, and that's all they have. And then I have, of course, all of like the little gashapon things that were shaped like the chalice. That is something I would love for Proplica to do, and I'm surprised they haven't. I also would like to see Proplica re-release the music box.
They told us they would. It felt like a lie. But did you have the opportunity to get the chocolate HK LED lamp of the Rev?
I wish.
That one was like 40 bucks. It was like the best price. I have it over
I didn't
there.
get it before it went up in price.
But to your point, it has no little figures inside. And correct me if I'm wrong, they were like little crystalline figures. They were like see-through because they would light up. Like it was like the horse as a crystal. It was so beautiful.
And it had all
I
the
would love
scouts.
to see that as a Proplica.
Yeah. And how all the little scouts in it. And the reason why they were see-through is because there was lights under each of their little positions and they would light up. Yeah, I would love to see Proplica. I'm surprised they haven't because they've done so many things. And they had all those re-releases in different colors. I was like, you could have given me the chalice at this point. Come on, please. So that's what I would like to see. What would you like to see, Tortilla?
I want Mercury's glasses and her little computer. I think there's a great opportunity for Samsung Flip with their beautiful little flippy iPad thing to make a case that looks like Mercury's little computer. For the Proplica items, I've literally just lately been on a Sailor Mercury kick. I just love Sailor Mercury. I oscillate between my favorite characters, but right now all I want is a cosplay accurate visor where I hit the little button and maybe I can hear her voice. Maybe they can have the voice actress re-record like they did for the Proplicas. I also think hear me out, a Luna P that hovers above the base, maybe with a magnet, maybe with like a little bit of like an air fan situation, right? They have like Star Wars things like this. I want a floating Luna P so bad, like a little drone. Drone's not going to happen, but maybe just a little decorative.
Yeah, like a little magnet, like have a magnet and it floats above the magnet. That'd be so cute.
I think that would be cute. It could have the glowing eyes, just like the toy in the 2000s did. A little creepy. I think the Luna P is like a creepy item. That and the visor. It's just cosplay accurate because they tell you prop replica. It's a prop for your cosplay. Give it to me. I would love to see that. What about you, Michi?
I'm looking at pictures because I have had I think I said this on Brooks episode or on Ochiba Wolf's episode, but I'm not 100% sure. I've said it recently, but there is one item I would give so much money for. It makes me mad. Do you remember these?
I have the set.
Yeah.
Uranus and Neptune never got a full wristwatch. They got the little keychain and it's yellow and I hate it and it makes me mad because can you imagine a beautiful, elegant wristwatch that has a fold down top? Or imagine like if they partnered with Apple or something and they made a little cover for the Apple Watch. How cute would that be?
Super cute.
I would buy that in an instant. And I have what you're talking about because you're right. It just has a little chain and there's nowhere for you to draw the band through. It's just a little keychain. It's very frustrating.
It's I can only find this super duper 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 tiny picture.
I'm gonna hop to the room and I'm gonna go grab them.
There we go.
How's that?
Okay. Oh, do you mind? I'll turn off your camera if you're okay.
I don't mind. You can turn me off.
Okay. But this is like my if I had a holy grail, that would be it. Like a beautiful, elegant wristwatch that looks like a communicator. Like I've always wanted it.
I'm wondering if you can commission one. Like someone from Etsy, because there's watchmakers on there. Go ahead if you have a question, Omega Man.
Yes, we're open for questions.
The mentioning of like Mercury's computer. You know what else I'd like to see a Proplica of? Their communicator that was in the show, the little pink one.
Yes.
How cute was that?
That would be so cute if we got. Oh my god! Because even if it didn't work, just to
Mhm.
have it.
I mean, I used to sell
There's.
the resin keychains of it, and it actually was one of my most popular because it was a little communicator. Yeah, the little calculator looking one.
Yeah, it looked like a little calculator.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you for waiting. So this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is the Mercury Communicator Watch.
Yes.
It was a gashapon sold maybe within the last maybe 7 years, I want to say. And if you open it up, it has a real clock inside. No batteries
Mhm.
right now, but you could actually use it as a tiny, think of it like a little Timex. But when they came around to making Uranus and Neptune, it's just a dingly dangly little keychain. Barely even see the details there. If you open it, what's inside? Oh, not even a real mirror.
No, they were too cheap to even do real
So
mirrors.
you couldn't like take the cap off the top if you wanted to and put it on here. There, you had no chance of turning one into the other. I did grab a couple other things while I was there. One of which, I keep bringing up the styling dolls, but the revival dolls also are very stiff. Their arms don't move.
They're so pretty though.
Oh my god!
And
I did. Did I
don't
get
know.
that one?
just pictures, not even pictures of the toy on
think I
the
have
back.
that
A little odd. I think they still have them on
That
Bandai
is
Premium.
odd.
I do have the Princess Serenity. I was able to get a hold of her.
She's very
Oh, the
beautiful.
yellow box.
Yeah, I did want to show an example of the yellow box. This is real, but it's these cute little details like the roses. You have the Japanese logo even. They tried. This is Irwin. Irwin tried.
That's so cute.
And then once again,
Like I would
batteries.
be all down for that.
Ooh. I do have one more. This keeps happening during this episode, but I've got my weird little posable girl. And you'll notice that it's open. I've totally played with this 1,000 times. And in this little booklet, they call, maybe I can pull it out. They call Michiru and Haruka something like Michelle
Namara.
and I think it wasn't even Amara, it was like Narissa
What?
or something. Let's see if we can jiggle this. Oh, I got it out. So it tells you about the show right here. Here's all your characters. Here's all your main characters. All their little American names. But on the back, Narissa, Corin, and Celia. My favorite characters.
I'm sorry. Who and who?
Narissa, Corin, and Celia.
I'm guessing that's before they came out and they
one-
just made up names for them.
It's true. And at one point, they were going to call Usagi was going to be Victoria, and Ami was going to be Blue. Just Blue. That's a real thing.
like
Who's your favorite character, Blue?
I don't like it.
And I think that's it. I'll be pulling out more things as we chit chat. But yeah, thinking about the Stallion Rev like Helios, we don't get that much Helios, or any of the male characters. I don't really know what's going on. I feel like you've heard me say this before. Toei does not treat this franchise well.
They treat it like trash. And I'm like, it's your most lovable brand.
It's beloved by children, adults. I was just at a town festival, and there was a girl wearing the Ross jersey that they sell now. And she was like little. I want to say like 10 years old. Children love Sailor Moon. Adults love Sailor Moon. They could sell so much if they would actually make it. And what they do make a lot of now are the Q poskets. Oh boy.
My god.
It is so hard to get a male character from Sailor Moon. And they've made not only him, but they've made the King version. Not the Prince, though. The Prince was only in the Pop Marts. You got me started, and I'm going to keep going because let me talk about the Pop Marts.
Keep going. Go on.
These came out last year. They have these beautiful porcelain skin tones Do you guys have these? I think they're so
I
beautiful.
haven't been shopping for Sailor Moon in like the last year just because I can't.
It's been slow. It's been slow with merch, but for instance, you never see school
Mhm.
uniform Usagi. They gave it to us. I have Sailor Mars here as well. And you'll kind of notice the cute pink, like a
Mhm.
China doll skin
Those are
tone.
cute.
They're just adorable. If you ever see them, buy it in a heartbeat. You won't regret it. Any of the character models are cute. Their Princess Serenity is a closed-eyed Princess Serenity, and
Aw.
she's one of the most beautiful figures I've ever seen.
I collect all the stuff, Princess Serenity. That's why I have one of my case levels is just Princess Serenity with Prince Endymion. So I'm like,
How lovely.
give me. I was trying to think what there's a couple of weird things that came out also in the beginning. We made a note about there was a Sailor Moon Dream House apparently. I know that there's a vanity that Japan came out with. Like full on vanity. It's like a little kid's vanity. What else did I see?
Something that somebody mentioned actually a while ago I wanted to bring up. Being a Soldier 92 says, I remember buying a Sailor Moon playing cards back in the late 90s. I had a full set.
Mhm. I had the ones that I got in Chinatown in New York. And they were like really pretty, detailed, actually, like pictures and screenshots from the show. So they were actually very detailed.
There were so many different there was like an official type, and I think it was even Great Eastern Entertainment was making them, where they had like a metallic finish on the front, but it was always the same image on all the cards. And then the bootleg ones were so much more creative. That's where I first saw Eternal Sailor Moon, was on a set of
Yes.
playing cards. And they all had art. I had them in a binder for a long time. And it sold those too. Like, too many cards. And they still make them. I think, actually, right here at arm's reach, this is what they look like now. Not as cute as they were in the 90s. And I can
Oh.
open this up.
Yeah.
It's all official artwork, but in the 90s, it was like screen caps from the show,
Or
which
it was
was a
like
little
the
more
artwork, like
interesting.
the art from like the posters and stuff that they would sell in Japan. Cause like that was a big thing for me, was actually like going to Chinatown, and it would be like in the little back lots. And my mom would get me like the posters that they would have, and they were like little small, like probably like I want to say like 11 by 18 or something like that. And also
Were they
yes,
laminated?
and they were laminated.
Ben Presto
Yeah.
posters. That's what those were.
And then she also found me like binders, like school binders. And wrapping paper, which I think that's official. It was like wrapping paper. I still have some. My aunt sent me my cousin's Sailor Moon stuff. And it's in one of the she put it all in one of the old backpacks that came out in like the dark blue with like the pink lining that we had, because we did have Sailor Moon backpacks like for a second. And yes,
messenger bags.
And so one of the things my aunt did put in there was the wrapping paper that they would sell, and it was official, and it was like images of either like Chibiusa or Usagi. Like it was very cute, and these are still like unopened. Like I'm looking up at them really quick. And what my mom actually did with them was, because back in the day, we used to have to actually like cover our books. We had to wrap them usually in like paper bags, because the school was like, if you damage this book, you got to pay $100 for this thing. So what my mom would do is she would buy the wrapping paper in Chinatown, because I used to live in Jersey, and she would wrap my books in it. So I had my books covered in Sailor Moon.
What color is it? What's like the primary color of it? I've never seen
I will
this.
send you a picture after. Do not someone write this down so I can send a picture afterwards. They're all different colors. One of them's pink, another one's yellow. The one I had when I was younger was a baby blue, because it had Eternal Sailor Moon on it. But yeah, I'll definitely send you a picture afterwards.
That's so cool. That's like the Valentine's cards. You don't want to ever use something that you have to like use it and give it away. I made that mistake. I gave my classmates the Valentine's cards. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody cared. I was the only one. Never again.
I had the Cardcaptor Sakura ones.
Man, that would make me so upset if my classmates didn't appreciate them. Like,
you know what else was weird that they came out with? I don't know if you ever saw it. The makeup. Did you ever see it? It was like Sailor Moon's face, and if you open it up, it was a bunch of lip gloss.
What?
Yes. They sold this.
And she had like spooky eyes, and it opened like this.
She was like all up in your face, and you were like, she was like, and then they had, it was like a little set, and it was like a hairbrush and a mirror and like lipstick. They used to come out with like the funniest little things. They had like little makeup sets, and then they had one that was like nail polish and perfume, and that perfume stank. It was so bad. Like, I remember like opening it up, and I closed that thing so quick. I was like, ew, I'm not putting this on me. This is disgusting. But that was like some of the weird like American things that happened here. I mean, they had like almost similar things in Japan, because they had the Inner Scouts wands with the nail polish in it. So they did have that. And that's also very rare. The Scouts wands, not Sailor Moon stuff. They had Scout wands, and the most rare are Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto.
Of course they are.
They are the hardest to get, especially with a box. You're paying about $300, if not more, per wand.
Of course you are.
Yeah, they're very hard to get.
I've only seen them twice ever in person, and also in the comments, Venus Soldier's right. They made a Sailor Moon shampoo.
I was reading that. I had that highlighted. I was like, yes. Going back to that. What?
Yes.
I remember that was another thing. I was at the store. My mom was like, "Do you want it?" And I'm like,
"The bubble bath."
It's
the bubble bath. I actually have the figure that went on the top of the bubble bath thing.
I'm sorry. It's scary.
Oh my god.
She's bizarre.
Oh my god. And then other comments that I wanted to get to. Omega Man asked, what's your favorite Sailor Moon character? I think to make this interesting, just name your top 3.
I can go first. That's pretty easy, because it's the 3 I oscillate between. And it's Jupiter, because that's like the character that I would love to be roommates with. I would just always want to be with her. Mercury, because I identify with Mercury. Quiet, studious queen. And then Ray, because Ray. Right now, like, Ray is like tippy top. And I think it's because I went to the Super Live. When you guys go, you gotta tell me about it. Because
debating whether or not to do my makeup, because I feel like I'm just gonna sob like a little child. Great.
That was me. That was me. Just from the moment I had a moment, if I may. Right when the show started, it was my first Sailor Moon musical experience. And right when it started, the characters reveal themselves, and it was just all coming out. It was just happening. I was like, just be cool about it. I don't want my husband to notice. Oh my God. I made eye contact with Ray, the girl who's playing Sailor Mars. Saw my face turning red, and I was cooked for the rest of the show, because I was like, I feel like she.
Oh
no! And I had a really nice moment with her at the meet and greet. And right now, Ray, top of the list with the other girls.
I'm excited because I got VIP tickets. So.
Oh, you're gonna love it. They're so cute.
Right, Celine, you go next.
Top three, Usagi is my number one. I identify most with Usagi. I was a big crybaby. I'm still a little bit of a crybaby. I'm a very empathetic autistic, and I cry when I get overwhelmed. Um, but also like uh, her, it's her empathy is what really resonated with me. Her always giving people a chance. My second one, I would have to say, I mean, Usagi as a whole. Okay, I like all aspects of Usagi because I could just be like, Usagi, Sailor Cosmos, Princess Serenity. Um, I would say that Michiru is my second. I do cosplay her also. Um, and just because I like to slay and like toss my hair over my shoulder, and also her mirror was one of my favorite things. In my picture, I do have the very rare uh, where they made the full size mirror of hers, which is very hard to get because it was like some random company that made it.
It was
Yeah.
Bandai Premium, and it was only on the website. They didn't really advertise it. They just said,
Hey.
"Hey," and they did the same with
Mhm.
the Dream Mirror.
And
Surprise drop.
then I would have to say I know it's really weird, but I do actually like Chibiusa, but more I enjoy Black Lady. Black Lady is one of my favorite. I actually have an entire shelf dedicated just to Black Lady. And I have anytime I see Black Lady stuff, I snatch it up. So yeah, she's my third. I know Nehelenia should be on that list, but
I was surprised. I was about to say, I was like, Nehelenia?
Queen Nehelenia is my number one villain. So Usagi and Nehelenia sit on the same tiers. So if you had said villainous, that would have been Nehelenia. So she sits in the villainous category.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Meech.
Me, of course, number one is Neptune. I actually, but here's the thing, I don't like her just because she's like super pretty and like the superficial reasons. I actually love her for like her dark backstory about how she was really lonely and didn't have a lot of friends, and then she finds like her found family, and like she has such good character growth. I really appreciate the character growth, and I just relate to her a lot. So, love her to death. And then, of course, second is Uranus because I love her. But she's like everything I'm not. So, like, I appreciate her for being things I could never be, if that makes sense. And then third favorite is Diana because she's a little shit. She's an absolute little shit, and I love her.
I love her. She's also adorable. She's so tiny.
She's so cute, and like I love her design. I've cosplayed her. Like, you know, you love a character when you cosplay them because that's an amount of money that you dedicate to a character that you don't dedicate to a lot of things.
I don't want to talk about how much my Princess Serenity cosplay is. Or my Nehelenia, because my Nehelenia is all velvet.
That was a personal choice.
Oh, wow.
Listen, it drapes beautifully. I won that contest with that. So
Yeah,
it
you
drapes
did.
beautifully. Actually, what was it? Last week or the week 2 weeks ago was actually the like 5-year anniversary of me winning the Viz Media cosplay competition with Nehelenia. Because it popped up and I was like, I'm gonna watch the video, and I'm like, don't cry. Don't. Oh, I'm trying not to cry as I'm watching it. Because it was very surreal. Still is.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our favorite characters.
Yeah. And then last two comments before we get onto our next topic. Leo Convoy says, what would be really nice is an updated 2.0 of the Figuarts line, or for BuzzMod or Mafex to get the license.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great opportunity to bring up the best SH Figuart they ever made. And it was the only one from Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
This is, in my opinion, the only one that was ever worth buying, and no one gave three craps about it. It came out to no applause. And I mean, the hair, it's a little rubbery, but it gives that beautiful kind of almost manga-esque
Mm-hmm.
style, and she is stylized to Crystal Season 3. And I guess this is a great segue also to talk about Crystal in general. But if they made another line of these, I would love to see them make brooches that you can swap out. I know that they came out with like the super characters afterwards, but it was like an entirely different toy. If there was a 2.0, I would love to see the joints improved. It drives me nuts that they fall apart. And there was also the Legend Studios articulated figure
Mhm.
that they too announced a Saturn,
But
a
they only did Moon.
Mars, like all these other characters, and they only did Moon. I can bring that one out as well. That one is one of the best articulated figures. Like, and I don't like articulated figures anymore, but I think it's because of the SH Figuarts the way they were. This Crystal one, she's firm. You put her in her position,
Mhm.
she stays. I don't know what happened, but that was the best one they ever made. And I would love to see other characters, do super form, do eternal form. There are so many things like, also, like, how hard really would it be to make a swap out like shoulder pad kind of thing? It wouldn't be that hard. And it would also be a money saver because I feel like Toei just reaches right into my pocket and pulls
Yes.
money out, especially with that line.
Did you
So
did you
don't
do
know
the
why they
did you get the
stopped.
Eternal Moon one
Yeah,
for the Figuarts?
I did, and I never took it
Oh,
out of the box.
she
She's still in the
goes
box.
to get she's actually much better made than because she's the most recent
Oh,
Figuart. She actually went together a lot better, and I
yeah.
was able to pose her really pretty.
Interesting. See, I felt burned. So I bought it,
Mm.
never took it out of the box. I got the recolor of Pluto as well with the accurate skin tone, never took it out of the box. I said, you can fool me once, but like I have the Black Lady and her hand has come out entirely out
Yep.
of the joint. There's no joint to plug in another hand. It
Yep,
is
mine broke
broken.
too. I
Very
actually
frustrating.
hide it behind her
Was
scarf.
it at the joint? I do the same thing.
I'm wondering
I
if
just
we have
pop
the
it
same
behind
hand
it.
broken. It's her right arm.
I can double check. I think it's the left.
Yeah.
That
was actually one of the complaints for Black Ladies was people were snapping the joint off the hand joint. So you would go to change her hands and it would literally just pop right off. Like you wouldn't put any pressure, it would just snap. So you couldn't put the hand back on.
Yeah, it just snapped. Just like you said, it just
and it's stuck
right
inside
off.
the hand, so it's not like you can even glue it back on. Like there's no way. And it's very sad.
And there's nothing to glue it to. Yeah. Like I have the hand just sitting in a little dish of accessories mocking me.
Oh.
It was very sad. And she was actually the most delicate out of all the Figuarts. That is actually, like I said, that's the biggest complaint for hers. Is constantly the hand. For some reason, the hand joint would break right off inside the hands, and you wouldn't, like I said, you wouldn't even do anything, and it would just. You're like, I didn't even twist it or anything. What the hell?
And the other thing too is the scarf doesn't stay popped inside of the holder for it, at least on mine. It is held by sheer will and prayer.
That's weird. So, Sling, you can hear Sailor Tortilla, right?
Yeah, I can see her. I can hear her just fine.
No, someone in the comments said Mike is muted.
Are you muted? Is your YouTube muted?
You know what? I have it running on the other screen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I can hear you.
No.
No.
Okay.
We got to make sure that we can hear each other.
I can hear you just fine.
I can hear you just fine. That's why I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know, Sailor Mikey. Also, hi, Sailor Mikey.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, it's off sync. Okay. It could be that there's a delay. So if you have the Twitch and the YouTube open, we're going to be at different frame rates.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I see it happening on the YouTube right now. It's that I'm talking, but the voice is not matched to.
Oh, so it's a lag.
Okay, it'll be right on the one on the recording. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure why Restream's doing this.
I mean, it does. YouTube, because of the way the amount of CPU power that YouTube requires sometimes when streaming, a lot of people, it's not just restream. When people try using OBS and try to do Twitch and YouTube at the same time, YouTube usually crashes. It's something wrong with YouTube that doesn't allow like multi-streaming. It's really, really weird. So it's not just restream. I've actually seen other people who it doesn't work.
Okay. Well, I apologize to the audience.
Yeah, it just happens. It's all YouTube.
If there's anything
It's
I can do,
YouTube's fault. It's nothing with
let
you.
me know.
You're not doing anything wrong. YouTube is just being finicky.
Yeah, so hopefully it gets back, or as long as everybody's still having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So let's go.
It can be like when they used to not sync the lips with the mouth flaps with Japanese. You guys get the true authentic experience.
Here's another question I wanted to go over. Question for everybody from Venus Soldier 92. What announcement do you expect to hear on June 30th for Usagi's birthday?
I have questions about this myself because in the last year or so, they have only announced two figures. One is the Neo Queen Serenity and the Lightyear Studio, which is Neo Queen and Endymion. And the other one is the Wonder Studio figure, which Wonder some
big
such
Eternal one. That's like $600.
Yes, 30 something centimeters. It weighs 13
I was gonna get it.
pounds. It costs $700. I mean, I have it on order. I'm a little worried about what the cost will actually be in the future, given current events. Same thing for the Lightyear Studio. I think that's all that's been announced because we were only getting Q Poskets for the longest time and the Glitter and Glamours figures. And then they just suddenly stopped without giving us Starlights. I want to point out, very frustrated by that.
You're so right.
So for this year, I don't know if they're going to announce. I mean, I want a Sailor V anime. It's the most logical thing for them to do. That's what I hope for.
That would make my life. You just yes. Put Sailor Church. Yeah, put Agent Church.
I think that's it. I'm just going to put it in the universe.
I'm wondering if there is going to be any announcement. I mean, the Sailor Moon Super Live is doing pretty good, but I don't think they've sold out all of their shows. So Toei is probably going to look at that. I don't know what they're going to announce. I don't think we're going to get anything big. Do you know that apparently Naoko was at the New York showing?
Really?
She was at the Los Angeles show. So there's an image backstage. It seems to be like a producer, someone who was working the show is backstage, and there's Naoko in a photograph. She never appears in photographs. She's a very private person, and she's wearing a Sailor Moon store tee. It's like a black tee with the logo, just hanging out backstage. So there is a rumor that she'll be at the New York show. It's only a rumor though. But that queen actually showed up for the first time I've heard about in recent times.
That she might be at the New York showings, and I'm just like, is she gonna let us meet her? Like, is she gonna stand with them? That would be so cool. Even if she stood with them, I just want to see her. And then I would sob and cry because Sailor Moon saved my life when I was a teenager. So I'm just gonna be like, you saved my life. I'm here because of what you created. So I would die. I'd be like, I don't even need a picture. I can just picture it in my head. Thank you.
We were in the same room. We breathed the same air.
I just breathe the same air as Naoko. Oh my God. That's what I would brag about. I'd be like, I breathe the same recycled air as her. I brought in her carbon monoxide into my lungs.
That's the dream. And I see a lot of people in the comments were at the LA show. I can't tell you if she was in the audience, but she certainly was backstage. The only person I know who shared the photograph is JPH Collection on Instagram. Got it from somewhere
Mhm.
on Facebook, which I don't really use.
Yeah, I saw it.
So I don't know
I
where
saw
it's
it
from.
on. Did I see on? I saw it on Facebook because someone shared it into Mooncraft, which is a Sailor Moon Facebook group. Um, I'm trying to think what I would like to see announced. I would like to see something announced, and not just more acrylic stands. Um, the amount of
I know.
acrylic stands I have, I would love. You know what I would love for them to announce? That they were actually going to do Sailor Moon on ice. I
Yes.
understand they sold all the merch. I do have the merch. I was on that in a heartbeat. Um, I also would love if they actually announced another musical, but I would love it to be a touring musical. I understand like Sailor Moon Super Live gives us a taste of it. Um, and I would like more proplicas of stuff they haven't made, not just recolors.
I would also like Sailor Moon on Ice. Did the main woman who does the ice skating, did she retire? Is that what happens if Evgenia
No, she's still ice skates.
Medvedeva?
Um, she was looking
Oh,
forward
that's
to it.
good. That's good news for us.
Like,
I mean, she was like the original, like, I'm Sailor Moon on Ice, like
mhm.
doing it all on her own. I love that they found her and they cast her in it.
Yeah, she
But
hasn't I I don't think she does the Olympics anymore, but she is not retired. She still does ice shows.
I'm glad to hear that. So there's still a chance. The manga artwork for that they put on the
Oh
clear files
my
on the
god.
posters is some of the
Oh
most
my
beautiful
god.
art
Yes.
that she's done that
Yes,
Naoko has done
I got
lately.
the one with her and, Mamoru, and then I got the one where it's all the scouts. I got both those posters. I haven't framed them yet, because I wanna get really nice frames and put them in my bedroom because they're just so flipping gorgeous, and I got all of the acrylic stands because they were just so pretty. It was some of the prettiest art.
I have them in the next room if you needed me to pull them out. And also, I haven't taken them out of. So acrylic stands, when you buy them, they come in this little plastic thing all around them. For the Sailor Moon ones, it's not just clear plastic. It's like orange for Venus and blue for Mercury. I feel bad
Mm,
taking them
I save
out
them.
of the packaging.
I pop them out, I build them, and then I put
Smart.
it back. Um, so that's something I would love to see. I don't know what we're gonna get this year. It just seems very we didn't really get anything last year, did we?
The last thing I bought was the Proplica re-release of the original season 1 compact and
Mhm.
the Luna pen, and the 2025. Oh, this thing. Hold on, it's right here. This bad boy. Ugh. I think that's it. So this is the 2025. You'll notice
Mhm.
that it has like extra details. Lighting here is not doing me many favors, but it does have real makeup inside, which I'll open up very quickly. What always drives me nuts about these is it's not like you go to Sephora and you choose your skin tone or anything. It's just some kind of white person. I don't know. Never gonna use
Isn't
it.
it a setting powder or is it actually foundation?
Hmm. I don't know.
Because it being that white, it looks like a setting powder
It
or,
says
a
it's
blotter
oh, it's
for
all in
oil.
Japanese.
Yeah. So it
I
could
can't help you with that.
yeah, it could be a setting powder or, blotting for oily skin.
Yeah, I think they call it it's shining moon powder is I believe the what the box
I think it's a
says.
setting powder.
Huh.
That like I said, it's either setting or it's meant for, getting rid of when you're oily because the Japan's really big on that, like making stuff for, making sure you're not shiny. But I love that. I wanted to get the makeup stuff, but, like, it's a little bit more expensive to ship over here because I use, No Country for Tall Men, for a lot of he's one of my biggest proxies that I use. Um, and I was like, "I don't feel like paying extra for the makeup." So, I was like, "No." I would
Yeah,
love
I'll
to
be
go to
real with
Japan.
you. I thought it was gonna weigh more. It's just more
Mm,
plastic. It's my first annual one, the special editions. I genuinely thought they were at least gonna put like a lead weight inside to make it
mhm.
feel hefty. nope, not a single baller to make it feel better. It's a little too much for what it is, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then one last
Nietzsche,
comment.
you didn't say what you wanted.
Oh, that's right. What I would like. Oh my god, I had it and now I lost it because I got I got rerouted. Double Celine. What was the question?
What would
What
you
do you
like to
think they're
see
gonna
announced
announce?
for
Oh.
the on Sailor
Oh,
Moon's
what are
birthday?
Thank you. I would, in my heart of hearts, please announce a prequel. Please tell me Naoko's going back to work. Tell me more about that new scout that you have planned, Naoko. Please, just a little bit. You said the word. You said that word. So
And
I
then
would
she's
love
gonna be like, "Psych!" Pulls the rug from under us.
But she said there was a new senshi that she was thinking up. I want to hear more. Like, that'd be a great Usagi birthday present.
I feel like that would end up being like probably Chibiusa's time, and then a new
Oh.
senshi shows up.
But yeah, in my heart of hearts, I would love a prequel or like something like that. But I know we're not going to get that. So realistically, what I would like to hear announced is at least some kind of continuation of the media. I'm not even that picky. Just please don't re-release the manga in another format.
Yeah.
How many
We
times
got
has
it.
it been now? How many times has it been?
There's like 4 now in the States in the last 10 years.
Indulge me. I believe it was Mix Zine monthly format, the big flat ones.
Yeah.
Mix Zine Pocket Mix, collected small format. The Kodansha first edition.
Yeah.
The Eternal edition. The Naoko Takeuchi collection. That's 5.
There's the
That's
big books
ridiculous.
Too.
Those are the
big
Eternals.
Then there was one right before that. The ones that people want the covers of. It was right before the Eternals. Where it has
that should be the first
artwork.
Kodansha. Like the white. They're all white.
Then there's one more before that.
The Pocket Mix.
There was another one with Pocket Mix though.
Oh, that's Tokyo Pop. Same company.
Yeah.
Mixzine just changed their name.
Oh, well, they reprinted them in the Tokyo Pops.
Yeah. And I think it was even Chicks Comics for a while.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man,
but all that was Mix. Mix just changed their name. And now Tokyo Pop doesn't even exist anymore. And I didn't realize until the other day.
Oh.
Really? I still see manga with their symbol on it.
Huh.
You sure?
Oh. I'm like, I still
That's
see
how
manga
we get you.
I still shop for manga, so I'm like, I still see the Tokyo Pop symbol.
That's how they get you, though. They're like, look, their memory is failing. You don't have Sailor Moon number 5, do you? Because you need Sailor Moon number 5 again.
Yeah.
You need it in a bigger print because you're older.
So if we don't get new media, do you know what I'd like to see? The Sailor Moon side stories animated.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see Casablanca memories. I want to talk about Ray and her daddy issues. I want that.
Yeah. I'd like to see the side stories done. Because it's not new media. I mean, if we're not going to get Sailor V, at least give us that, you know?
Give us something. Like, here's the thing is that it's like, it just makes me mad. Wasted potential.
It's just, you know, so going through just our list, we've done what we saw in the early the 90s and then the early 2000s, and then we saw a decline in merch, and it was very, if you did find merch, it was very rare. It was done by GE Entertainment. It was the same image done over and over again on things, and it was like we might have gotten a plushie, or they would do like, they did the fabric posters for a moment. And then you had the Crystal announcement, and suddenly we got merch again. So realize there was a dry spell, guys, from like, I want to say 2005 till like 2015, 2016. Okay. We weren't really seeing things in the States. Sailor Moon kind of tapered off here. Japan still had like some random shit that they would do every year. It would either be like towels or enamel pins, or garage kits were very big over there. But those weren't always official. I'm trying to think what else they did. But so we
I
got
do
into
actually remember the specific years. It
Yeah.
was 2003 to 2014. It was
Mm,
rough.
it was
2014 is
cool.
when the first SH Figuart came out, and then afterwards was
Oh,
the first Proplica. It was a huge deal for me. I bought 3 of that first SH Figuart.
Oh,
I don't do that anymore.
I'm trying to remember because I was like, oh, because the years have just been blurred by. Because I'm like, you're right. That's when I moved to where I live now, because that's when they were just releasing them. And I was so mad because I was living on my own, a single mom living on her own, and I couldn't afford the Figuarts at the moment. And I remember those coming out. And then, so we got like the Figuarts and stuff, but then all of a sudden we started getting like a boom of merchandise. And it wasn't necessarily here in the States. We did get the Funko Pops, which were very cute, but the first sets weren't as bad. So the first, when they did the inners, were not as badly made. It was when we got to the outer pops, they were rough. I don't know if you do you have them?
I have been gifted those so many times. I got gifted them at least 5 separate times by people.
You look
I mean,
upset
you can see
about
the
that.
difference.
I love those, but I was like, I can only have so many. Like, I can take them out of the box. I can like do different things, but I was like, I was given so many Funkos.
I have the whole set, and it is one of my least treasured things. And I've got a Funko Pop right behind me. I don't really dislike Funko Pop, especially for properties that don't get a lot of toys. Like that's Meryl from Trigun. Trigun is a
Oh,
show that doesn't get a lot of toys. I just saw a Funko Pop from The Secret of Nim at the store, another franchise that gets no toys.
Holy
But for
shit.
Sailor Moon, I have so many better things. Like, for example, well, I'm not going to pull her out because she's going to knock things over. Those are the lookup dolls. Super
Oh, I
cute.
love
You can even
those.
find them at
yeah.
Burlington. $15 at Burlington right now.
That's
Oh, shit.
amazing.
It's pretty wild. Anyway, you were saying the pops are rough.
The outers, when they came out with the outers, they were much more rough. The paint jobs weren't done very well, which I find crazy because I was like, the outers sold out when they released. And thankfully, like I knew the people at my Hot Topic, that because I worked next door to it, and they had told me when they were going to put them out. So like I took a 30-minute break and I had to go into the store, and the way I was going through each and every box, because like some of them were just so bad. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Because the first ones weren't like that. And I remember
Did
the
you see
first
the
ones,
2
they weren't all
Mercuries?
released at once. They were released in waves for the first ones. Um, I did love the triple set where it was Neo Queen Serenity, small, small lady, and then Endymion. That was a set people like fought for. It was so funny because my Hot Topic did not sell them.
Oh,
I was snatched one up the moment it came out. We also got we actually got a Sailor V, which was really cool. That was a con exclusive. We also got Super Sailor Moon and
Queen
Beryl.
Beryl.
Beryl was a con exclusive.
No, she was a Toys R Us exclusive.
Oh, that's right. It was Toys R Us, and you had to like rush because Toys R Us was going downhill at that point.
Yeah, it was exactly at the time. And that's where I got, believe it or not, this is from Toys R Us. She was
Oh,
$30.
Really?
The retail at the time was over 45.
Mm-hmm.
And I
What
had
a
skipped
good
her out of rage because I said, never again. You can't get me with these. And I got her and Beryl on the same day.
Hmm. Yeah, because that was when Toys R Us was like starting to shut her down, and you were like, What do you mean? You guys did an exclusive. You can't shut.
It was very frustrating because that's like only months before, right? They had opened like their anime section, kind of like how Walmart and Target have now. Toys R Us did that a decade ago.
Yeah.
And they had really great stuff. They had like Ninja Turtles that you couldn't get anywhere else, and Sailor Moon.
Yes. They had some really cool stuff. I mean, I used to get video games there because they did better deals. Bring back Toys R Us.
Again.
I mean, they have them in other parts of the world. They're just not here in the States. Just like there's a Blockbuster in Alaska. But anyways, because they don't get cable up there. And they have the weird, I don't remember if you saw them, but they were like the smaller figurines that came in a little pink box, and they had Usagi, Sailor Jupiter, and Tuxedo Mask. And it came in a pink box, and it was just them like sitting in a pose. And it was like hard plastic. Those came out around that time too. I forget what they're called. I'm so sorry.
Are those the ones that are grabbing onto like a cup?
Those are the
Ochatomo.
Ochatomo, yeah.
By Mega House
I've got
as well.
all of those.
Those are really I don't know what to do with the first ones, but then later they came with like a little plastic piece to put them on. Those are the same people that made these. Same heads.
Those are so iconic.
Caras.
Let's talk
This
about
is
those.
one of the best lines. Let me see if I can place them on my hand and not drop them. We need to bring back these because I'm still waiting for the Sailor Anima Mates. They're so cute. I wish they would be in focus. Let's do the influencer thing. Well, anyway, you get the idea. I also have one of the Spectre sisters here. I have the entire set. I love this line. It's one of my favorite lines. And one of these will cost you the same as a Funko Pop. And you can see it's far, far smaller. But I love them.
They're very
and
detailed.
I think those are the only ones around me right now. Yes.
They're very, very detailed. I was on a collecting spree for those things. They are very expensive nowadays, just so you guys know. I am missing one set. It is the Outers Yukata set. That is the only one I'm missing out of all of them. It's very expensive to get.
I'm also missing that exact same one because I didn't know it came out. Right? They didn't announce it. It just came out.
Yep.
Of course, it's the Outers. When are they going to actually announce and be nice to them?
Never.
But it was like a random set because they had done the first set with the inners. It's the Yukata set. And the Summer Festival.
But then they did the blind boxes afterwards. Do you remember that? It was so weird. There's like 3 or 4 different Usagis. There was like an individual one at the Sailor Moon store. Then there's the blind box one. And then there's the set. Correct. It's very hard to have all of the Poochie Petite line. And it is one of the best. Only one that had villains. Never made an Helenia, though. Never made Sailor Animates. But we have Nephrite, all those guys. I'm still mad about that. Yeah. And then they had the blown up ones, the Mega House DX that you have, the Saturn. They made Chibi Usa. They made Sailor Moon, which got super bootlegged forever after that.
So bootlegged.
And the bootlegs are cute, though. She's like sitting on the moon. And then they have the ones that look like the Petite Charas, but it's the girls on like a little gummy of like a planet. Like Mars is sitting on like a little, but I can go grab it. I only have Mars. And they're so cute.
Was it the candy ones where they're like,
yes.
And
then they had the ice cream ones.
Whole box.
Oh,
and the ice cream ones, yes, they were very cute.
I regret not getting those.
I do have the bootleg, like huge Petite Charas. They're very cute, actually. They're very well done. I've got them for the Outers in their
Do you have the school uniform ones? I just found out that they exist.
Yeah. I snagged those. Someone was selling them. I was like, I don't care. That's actually very well done. But the Petite Chara line was just gorgeous. They're super cute. They did almost all the villains except Nehelenia.
And
There
Galaxia.
is
And
it's funny
Tomo.
because and Tomo.
Sorry, I'm getting mad now. They didn't
They didn't
finish
do the
that
Witches
season.
5.
There's
They
no
didn't do the
Witches
Witches
5. That's
5.
right.
Hmm.
There's no Mistress 9.
No, but they
And
did
it's
the
the only
Starlights.
line. They did. And the school uniform Starlights.
Yes.
Which is so rare.
Mhm.
That's the only line that got close to giving us what franchises like One Piece get.
Mhm.
My husband collects One Piece for context.
Oh, okay.
And he's got Luffy in white, Luffy in a Hawaiian shirt, Luffy as a robot, Luffy and his friends as samurai, Luffy and his friends as Western cowboys. And I'm sitting here going, when am I going to see human Luna and human Artemis and human Diana so I could put them among my cats? There is a human Luna Ochitomo though.
Yes.
But I want like a proper
Mhm.
standing one. It's
They
very
do have,
frustrating. It's very frustrating being a Sailor Moon
if you
fan.
look, they're the HFGI figures.
HIGF,
HIGF, yeah, there's a Luna.
Really?
The old ones.
This isn't
Yes.
HIG. Oh, yes,
The
of the old ones,
I
yes.
do have. And they were basically
Yeah, these are new.
gashapons, and you have to put them together. Because they had to fit in the little ball.
I don't think this one you have to put together
No, they
anymore.
sold those in
But
like
the old
a
ones
big
you
set.
did. I have 2 of the sets,
Yeah.
I think.
So there is a Luna, and she's like sitting down and like doing like a cute little hand thing. She's doing, oh, hold on. Where are my hands?
It's something like this, I think.
Yeah, she's like, and like she's sitting down and her dress is like spread out around her. It's really cute.
I want that. I want more of that. I want literally Naru. Give me, you know what I have of Naru? I have a Naru and I have an Umino. And you know what they
What?
are?
Is it the little zoom zooms? Yeah.
There's Zooms!
My
There's
I would
so
love, there
cute.
is a Naru
I-
figure out there. It's the world figure. She is so hard to get a hold of.
Yes, do you remember why? You had to collect all of the world figures, send your proof of purchase to even purchase Naru. I got Naru aftermarket for an incredible price, but very high. And I'm still missing School Uniform Ray and School Uniform Ami from that set. And for me, it's one of the best Sailor Moon sets ever made.
And it was an older
They
one
are
too.
super high quality.
The quality was fantastic.
Yeah, I want to say like 2017. They retailed around 70, which for me, $70 was a lot back then. And for many other people. And I completely skipped it. I was like, I'm not paying $70 for a figure. I paid for that Naru like $300.
Yep.
Like a year ago. No, maybe like 3 years ago, but still very recent.
And you were like, damn it. It's like me with my $50 Star Locket.
That's amazing. That was never going to happen ever again.
Nope, that was a once in a lifetime moment.
You have
That's
to
why you
realize
remember
this was
it.
like Otakon 2006. Something like that. It was like,
I'm trying to even find a picture of this. Like, does this exist? I want to know. Was it flat? Was it at an angle? I want to know what that box looked like.
it looked, I can't even remember, because I remember if you have the original box for the moon wand, for the moon stick, it advertised the Star Locket on the back of it.
Damn. The other one that I could never get was the Kaleido Moon Rod. For a long time, I didn't think that came out in America, and yet it did. It totally
You're
did.
kidding. Huh.
It came in a dark blue box, and it had the foil on the little wings. They were like holographic foil. And I've seen pictures of it. It's real.
It's a real thing. And see, actually, this brings up a good comment. Sailor Mikey asked, out of all the Sailor Moon stuff you have, is there one that is considered the Holy Grail because of its backstory or has some sentimental connection to it?
I actually gave you a picture of mine.
Oh, good.
It
I'll
is
bring it up.
Usagi's room.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to bring that up, this
Yeah.
is my Holy Grail item. It was done by Bandai. God, I don't probably 10 years ago at this point. It's Usagi's bedroom. And it's her in her pajamas, and you built the bedroom. It's I actually have an extra one that is still in the box. It goes for like $900 now.
Oh,
I have it like in the original box too, like in the cardboard portion that it originally came in with the box inside. But yeah, all of these little
that was a
parts
very
move.
unusual box
Huh?
too. I remember the box was unusual for that one. It doesn't display what it is.
No,
It's very
no, it
frustrating.
doesn't. You have to. I actually, I do try to sell it at cons because I do have a booth usually that I resell a lot of stuff. And I have to show people what's inside the box and what it looks like. You actually have to build all of these. A lot of the parts are actually like loose. If you see on the little table, there's a tiny little locket. There's a Luna, and like I have to be careful not to bump into my case because I have knocked stuff over in here, and then I have to try and reset it up and not, fumble it. So yeah, that is one of my holy grail items. It's my favorite, and sentimentally, it's
I
my favorite because it's
fumbled this
Usagi's room.
one. I fumbled that one so hard. I remember it coming out and I was like, nah.
Oh no.
It was like 80 though. It was like 80 when it came out. That felt like a lot.
For that's a lot.
Well, it's very detailed though.
In my mind, I remember it more recently though.
It's been
And I thought they would come out with more stuff, and it was just one of these one-offs that they just said, that's fine, like the Legend Studio figure. I don't know why they're okay with this.
I got my hands on that Legend Studio figure and I was shocked. It's the Luna is is one of the prettiest parts too. The Luna that it comes with, she's so pretty.
I love the articulated toes. The toes are articulated right at this joint.
What?
So you can really make her foot touch the ground in any position. It's a lovely
Oh, that's so
figure.
cool.
It's wonderful. If I had to say mine, I think so I have an autograph from, and I just got this. It's from Kotono Mitsuishi, the actress of Sailor Moon. It was signed in 1994, and I got it for this Christmas from my husband. And it's just one of those things that you never think you're gonna have. And it's just an autograph board. There's no picture. It's literally just her big old signature. 1994. I don't know how someone got this, but now it is in my house. I had an emotional moment when I opened that gift because I recognized the signature. I was like, wait a minute.
Where the hell did you get this?
Right. And the answer was like Mandarake or Yahoo Auctions or Bai or something. And I have it at the tippy top of all my shelves right now. And it's just didn't think I would have it.
That's so special.
So cool. That's really cool.
It was. And it's so big too. It's like I could probably I need stairs to get to the top. I'll send a picture afterwards.
No, and then mine would be my Luna from PGSM, which hold please, I will find it. Or you know what? Let's go to break and I'll find it, and then we can finish up, and then we'll go actually back to the outline.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So we're gonna take a 15-minute break, so we'll be back at Celine, can you do math for me?
I mean, you might as well just bring us back at 9 o'clock.
Bring us back at 9? Okay.
Yeah. That's better just to slate it.
All right, we will be back at 9 o'clock. I'll put on some nice music for everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we'll see you all soon. we'll come back for the second half of Sailor Moon merchandise through the ages. So this is season 4, episode 4 of Eternal Mooncast, and then we're just waiting on my co-host. But thank everybody for still hanging out. I hope everybody's been enjoying it so far. And I did bring up here
Oh,
she is.
it's just like the show.
Yeah, she's a little dusty. I need to dust my cases more. But let me take her. I take her out of the box. I am that person.
Story of my life. That is beautiful. I wasn't expecting you to
I
have
do.
it still in the box.
Oh,
Ugh, she's so cute. Oh,
I've
Celine's ready.
been
Come
ready.
on,
I was
Celine.
waving. I didn't have my keyboard in front of me.
oh, you got a typer. I don't know.
I was literally doing this. I'm like, hello.
I'm
Hi.
sorry, I didn't see
Hello. I'm right here.
you. I'm sorry, but let me show off Luna.
Look at the tuna.
Like, she's so beautiful. She's
And
also
like,
so
look
happy.
how pretty the necklace is.
It's
Yeah.
crystalline.
So like,
Ugh.
definitely, and she talks. Like, it's just like the cutest, and like the box is actually really cool. And like, look, she's tied with a yellow ribbon.
Oh,
So
I would love to get my hands on the PGSM stuffed animals. I love Sailor Luna. I want her doll so bad.
And it is advertising the
it's
other doll.
advertising her wand. It's advertising her like calling her cell phone, and then her whole outfit you could buy.
I love her.
I love PGSM. It brings me so many good memories. It's just like a good vibe show. I have no problem with the budget. I love this Luna.
It's so cute.
I think
but,
she's
like,
so cute.
10 out of 10 box, like, just amazing figure. So she can just hang out.
Yeah, I want her doll really badly. Because they made a doll of Sailor Luna.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All the PGSM did get dolls. Just they all got dolls. They're a little bit weird in the face because they kind of made them to look more like real people. But I would love to get a hold
They
of
did
those.
that with the Gashapons, and they're horrifying.
I'd love to get a hold of them. The only PGSM merch that I own are they were essentially like the little Gashapon figures, like what you just showed, the H whatever. Yeah.
With the human face.
There's 2 different sets of them.
I love those.
For PGSM. I own both of those. They're really they're cute. It was only, they only did the Inner Scouts, but they did not do Sailor Luna in that line. So
what's the difference between the 2 sets?
Two sets. They were standing differently. So there was like one where Ami is sitting down, the other one she's standing up. So there's one set like where they're all standing up, and then the other set they were like in different positions.
That's the one I'm aware of. That's the one I have because I got it for like 800 yen a year ago. It was wild.
That's great. Wow.
I don't think people care for PGSM, and it frustrates me because like the show, the writing is incredible, and people just can't get over the budget.
It was such a good show. All the budget went into, his shoulder pads. So
die about it.
Shoulder pads. That's where the budget went.
All right, so back to the outline. Where do we want to go?
I mean, we touched on the 20th anniversary. That's when like we really started to see the kick in merchandise again. And a lot of us were like, oh my God, yes. But we did not see the really, really good merch until between the 25th and the 30th anniversary. That is when we started getting the really detailed figures. This is when we started getting a lot of the collabs. This is when the proplicas really picked up, because they started because they did the first Sailor Moon wand, and then we didn't hear anything from them. Oh, and the collab, the skateboards.
Do you mean this collab?
Yes.
This
Yeah,
shit
it's a new
real.
skateboard. So we really saw it pick up, and I think it's because the 20th anniversary did so well. They really saw the Sailor Moon community speak up. The moment merch was coming out, it was selling out. So I think that's why we really saw the pickup right after the 25th anniversary, because the 25th anniversary, what they announced during the 25th anniversary, what was going to come out was insanity. I just remember all the merch that they were like, oh, this is coming out and this is coming out. We're having this collab and this collab. And we saw some very, very expensive stuff come out.
Are we talking about the Sume?
No, not just that. The kaleidoscope that was made by the professional kaleidoscope artist. And it was like 1 of 900.
Oh, yeah, that thing. It was made out of real glass.
It was an actual kaleidoscope that looked like the kaleidoscope that Mamoru buys the girls in the series. It was this was a professional kaleidoscope maker. Like, that's his profession. And it was like 1 of 900. They're full size. There are necklaces that came out, and those were just as expensive. Yeah.
Same price. But it's fraction of the size.
Tiny.
The thing is, it was functional. It was a tiny necklace size one that you could actually look through and see the Pegasus symbol.
We also saw between the 20th and I think right after the 20th, we saw the Volk stalls. And that was a huge collab because people were shocked that Toei actually allowed Volks to make dolls.
Was that the one you sent me?
Yes, those are the 5.
Those are the very large.
This is my most expensive part of my room. I need you guys to know that Volks dolls are not cheap. These are ball jointed dolls. They are very expensive. Usagi, when she first came out, was 900. What would have been like $900 here? Okay, so what is that? 90,000 yen. Is that back when these were coming out, the yen was much more powerful than USD. So these were very expensive over here. These dolls now retail, that shelf that you're looking at right there is almost $15,000 worth of merch. That is how much these dolls go for. They did a very limited run. They did rerun Mercury and Mars. I don't think Moon got a rerun. I don't remember. Do you, Age?
No, I do know that the outfits cost you extra, and you could only buy them on a lottery system on top of it, which was wild.
So the school outfits that you see most of them in, because I do not want to put the scout outfits on because the tiara stains the vinyl that these are made out of. It stains the foreheads. There is a way to make sure that it doesn't stain, but it's like takes a lot of prep, and I don't have the patience. Yes, you had to get them as a lottery item. The dolls were about between, I think Ami's was actually cheaper. She was only 70,000 yen. They're like $700 to $1,000 dolls, guys, when they sell. The outfits, the school outfits that you see, were what would have translated to about $120. So just for the school outfit was $120. So that's a separate outfit. It did come with their scout uniform, but like I said, these things stain very easily. Actually, I had Mercury holding her wand and her fingertips got stained from it. I actually keep the wands in my display case now. These are my most prized possessions. I actually almost sold them because just financial hardships. But it was a very hard decision, and I talked myself out of it, thankfully, because these are, like I said, very near and dear to my heart. They're very well made, guys. Like the clothing is actually insane. Like when you get up to it and you're touching it, they have all the pleats. The hardest thing to get on, and I will tell you right now, was Jupiter's wig. Jupiter gave me the most trouble. It is very fitted. So if anybody gets the Jupiter, be prepared to be a little bit frustrated. It's very hard to get on. Everybody else's wigs popped right on. You don't see our faces. Is the YouTube not?
No, we're on the right. If you look to the right of the image, we're there.
Hold on. Do you have your YouTube up?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I'm watching it right now.
They might need to refresh. Yeah, you might have to refresh. You might have gotten essentially locked. So yeah, these are, if you ever want to get these, they're beautiful. They are like 22 inches. They're quite big. I mean, you can even see like they're sitting on a shelf. Just be prepared. They are an investment. They do not make them anymore. I'm very sad we did not get the outers. They stopped after Jupiter was the last.
I don't know why they do that.
Venus was the last one. And she came out like, I want to say like 4 years ago. And she was the last one, and we have not had any. That's an announcement I'd like to hear. I'd like to see the outers come out as Volkstalls, because those we would be fighting tooth and nail for. I know it. So, but yeah, those are my most prized possession right there. I will fight that when if there was ever a fire, those would be coming out with me. Out of my whole collection.
Is that the giant check from Viz?
Yeah, that is the check that they gave me when I won the cosplay competition.
I
won best in show, so I won $3,000.
So you can say Viz literally did pay you.
Yeah, and it was, and I got a trip to LA as their special guest to Anime Expo. So you got a trip for 2. It was amazing. Most amazing experience. Viz treated me very well. Both just at the Anime Boston competition, they treated us amazing. The judges were amazing. And then when I went to LA, they took care of everything, and they made sure I was comfortable, and they checked in with me. So Viz took very good care of me. It was the only cosplay competition they've ever done. They haven't done another one. So it's always like, are you guys going to do another one? Shows up.
Can you imagine winning both and it turns into like,
bro, I almost shit myself when it happened, because it took me a moment to realize that I was pretty much the last person standing with like the group. I thought because there was a Sailor Moon there who did musical Sailor Moon. And my wife realized before me, they had called us in the order we won to line up. And I was the first one called up. She realized it as the line was going, but she wasn't near me. But yeah, so when the Sailor Moon was called up, my friend was actually in the Witches 5 group who won the group 1. And they kind of had to crowd around me because I had to grab something, because I almost fell over in shock because I was wearing a steel bone corset and trying not to hyperventilate. But yeah, it was really amazing. And I got a bunch of merch. Back to the merch. I got a bunch of merch. It was Sailor Moon Crystal merch, of course. And because in the merch was the DVDs. They gave me all of the DVDs. So all of Sailor Moon Crystal, and then whatever they had re-released from Viz for the dubs. And there was a couple other things. Apparently, someone got the music box. The Bluefin music box. The Proplica music box was apparently in one of the bags.
Yeah, the Tuxedo Mirage.
They also gave away a Tuxedo Mirage at Anime Expo. And I was like, no, I need it. Please give it to me. I need it. It's my holy grail.
It's
Yeah.
like they knew. That's one of the hardest ones to get. Also, while we were on break, I think I know which sitting figure you're talking about. Is it one of these?
Oh, I've got all those. Yeah.
Relicot. They're so cute. I love that they have school uniform.
You know what's funny? I have an entire set of those, including all the chasers, and I just want to get rid of them.
Bro, I already bought one from you because I was missing one. What do you mean you're trying to get rid of them now? Smack.
No, eventually I'll talk to this later. Sorry, I was just sorry. You showed me that figure, and all I could think of is I need to get rid of them. But we'll talk about that later.
No, don't get rid of it.
Is it because they're lightweight? Is it because they're vinyl?
No, it's just because my collection's too big.
True, you have limited space for your
I
collection.
know
My
it.
house is covered.
I only have a 2-bedroom condo, so I gotta like pick and choose what merch I keep.
Fair. I have an 1,800 square foot house, and it is it's filled.
All right, but back to our. So we were coming up on the 30th.
Yeah, I can't. You know, it's all a blur in my mind between like what's 25th and what's 30th. And I brought a couple other items out. For example, these I believe are genuinely 30th, which is the the shiny miracle
Those things.
light up these things. So they light up. That's it. There's no sound. There's no music. They're very beautiful though. You can see like the cat is like in the design, but that's all they do. And also I have the brooches as well. I actually really like this line, but when you touch it in your hand, it genuinely feels like a children's toy. Now, I am saying this fully cognizant that Sailor Moon is a children's show. But this is the type of stuff that was coming out on the 30th anniversary. I quite like it. Details. It's comparable to that $200, but it feels kind of bad in your hands. And they retail around, what is it, like 70 per, which
Something
is a lot.
like that.
It's way too much.
Ow! I'm sorry, children's toy for sale.
And you'll see they're extremely small. They are not 1:1 scale. They are not meant to be props. They're just for you to display among your many things. I don't know. I don't like to like poo-poo Sailor Moon toys. Clearly, I collect them and I love them, but I don't know. I'm a little ambivalent about it. And then also, this is the one we were talking about. The one that's supposed to be like a Nendo.
Yeah.
What's cool is you have all the accessories in this little container, but as I was setting this up, she just falls apart. The hair comes off.
They are so delicate.
Super delicate. Very frustrating.
Chibiu says the worst because of how much her head weighs.
Her hair comes right out of her head.
Yeah.
So very cute. And they only made 3. Moon, Chibi Moon, and Saturn, which was very odd. And then, I keep saying this as my laundry machine next to me makes a very loud noise. Let me know if you can hear it.
Nope.
It's fine.
This is the Legend Studio we were talking about.
Yeah.
This is basically competition to the SH Figuart line. I'm really hoping this will focus.
So well done.
It's the toes that get me. They are actually, you see that? Articulated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Incredible. Just amazing work. Kind of a weird shape to the skirt. Weird color to the hair. The Luna was very cute, though, to your point. Never made another one again. What else do we have? I don't know if this was 20th or 25th. But when they started doing Sailor Moon at Universal, they had fun little Sailor Moon with the Universal globe on it.
Oh,
I think it was 25th because the ride opened up around there.
Yeah, actually it does say 25th. You are so right. Fun stuff. I have another Universal item here. I love this. It's my sippy cup.
You got the popcorn bucket.
You got
This one's not the
it!
popcorn bucket. It
Oh, it's not?
is a
It's the
soda
drink!
container
Twink.
with its own little
That is
rubber
the
straw.
coolest.
It's a little beat to hell, though, because it just sits there on my shelf. I would never use it. Terrible, hard to clean item, but very fun, very large. I feel very holy when I put it around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think
That's so cool.
all of this should be 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And then in America, we were getting kitchen timers.
Yeah, like all the kitchen
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
I love it. There was a rice maker, there was
Mhm.
a slow cooker, and this is a kitchen timer. Very fun. And I think that's all that would fall into that category. I do have one of the chocolate boxes. Because there is a universe. They have made so many of these this year.
Yeah.
With this cute manga artwork. There's even other ones now where they have like they're making little symbols with their hands. But there is a universe that I fear very deeply where Sailor Moon becomes like Tony the Tiger. And they'll never make another anime and they'll never make another toy. And Sailor Moon is like, oh, the girl's on the almond chocolates.
Yeah.
And there will be children out there who have no idea that there is a show. That is a universe that is possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
I know around the
sad.
25th anniversary, though, we saw the boom of the claw machine figures, though.
Oh, yes.
That's when we got the glitter and glamours started really,
These.
really showing up. And I was really happy about that because I was like, oh, hell yeah. That's also when we started getting up.
You see what I
Hair
mean?
down,
They
hair
fall
down.
It's okay. I have a backup. Always
Okay.
have a backup.
And it was usually like you get either A or B. And sometimes they'd be in the same pose. Sometimes they'd be in a different pose. If they were in the same pose, they were just different colors.
Yes, light or
dark.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are two different poses in the light and the normal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one got released like 4 times, different poses. And as you can see, they fall apart like all of these beautiful plastic items. I do love these, though. They're very large.
Very detailed for being a crane game figure.
Yeah.
I love that they released everybody for it. I've got a bunch of them. I got really excited because they did Eternal Sailor Moon. I squeed when I heard, saw the Eternal Sailor Moon stuff because she is my favorite. Well, Cosmos is my favorite, but we barely ever got Cosmos stuff. I need to get the Cosmos figure that just recently dropped. That matches the Eternal. It's the Figuarts 0. We also got those a lot more. That was right before the 25th. When it comes to figures, these were highly detailed. They came out with all the scouts. They are very expensive now because people were like, nah, I don't want it. I don't want it. And then they realized I want it. My Venus one is actually signed by the English voice actress. So I do have a signature on one.
I just found myself a Saturn after all these years. New in box.
Nice. Heck yes.
Yeah, still missing a couple, though. It's interesting that that line came out with not just classic, but also crystal versions. I don't think we can say that about a lot of our toys.
Correct. So yeah, they had the classic and the crystal. And the crystal ones are the ones that are a little bit harder to find. They were very pretty. They also came out. Was it 3 got a Figuarts 0 out of that line? Princess Serenity sitting on the moon.
Oh, you mean the Choette?
The Choette, yeah.
There's
the
a couple.
Choette. And then Pegasus and Chibiusa. And then without a princess form, the only other people who got it was Uranus and Neptune.
And then the dancing figures.
Mm-hmm. So
that's the fan club version.
I was gonna say dancing figures.
It's Mamoru and Usagi.
Oh, that bro!
Okay.
My God, that one's so expensive. I would love to get my hands on that one.
That one was expensive from the get-go.
Art It's the manga art where they're dancing and he's dipping Usagi and she like has her foot up in the air. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm with you.
It's it's, it's so expensive because it was a very limited release for that one.
Fan club only.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to buy it and I was like, damn it.
Oh man, and then Sailor Denzel brings up I want glitter and glamour villains.
Heck yes.
I know.
Oh my god.
Please. It would be so easy. Like prize figures, they're not only are they like detailed and big, they are an excellent price. Even if you don't get them at the arcade, they are like just $25. And
Yeah.
even at Ross, I've seen them at Ross for $15. No,
Mhm.
there's no
Mhm.
excuse. They
Mhm.
just need to give it to us.
I will say around the 25th, going into the 30th, this is when we saw an explosion of the acrylic stands.
Oh
Huge
god, yeah.
I
It
don't even
went
want to talk
from
about how many
one.
acrylic stands are in my displays. Huge boom in them. I have a ton of them. They also, my favorites that they brought back was Sailor Moon drops, but they won't give us the game back. But they use the images
They're
on
mocking
the
us.
acrylic stands. I was like, you bastards, give me back my game
I
now.
have a few here. This is a it just fell apart in my hand. But it's a cell phone stand that was part of one of the collabs.
Yeah.
An acrylic cell phone
Oh
stand with
girl,
new art.
now.
Yeah.
So cute. So cute. And it holds your phone. It's what I use on my desk. And when they did some of the musicals, they have not only stands of the cartoons, but
Mhm.
stands of the girls.
Yeah.
However, in my opinion, it is a cheap product that they can mass produce and sell for a bunch of money. Not
Yep.
pleased with that.
Especially when they do the blind bags, because the Universal ones were blind bags.
Yeah.
A
Should
lot
have
of them
one
are
here.
because they're collabs done and then they're done with the lottery systems at like Lawson. So they're very hard to get.
I don't like that.
The one lottery figure I'm happy I got was it's Sailor Moon sitting in an armchair with Luna.
Oh, the Ichibankuji.
Yeah. It's
Those
I got both
are
versions.
Oh, yeah, because there was like a pearlized, right?
Yes, it's very I bought them. I got it both. Just because I loved the image so much, I was like, well, we're getting both.
For me, it's the way Luna is looking at Usagi is there's emotion in that figurine, which we don't really
Yeah.
have a lot. We always have like little poses, little attacks, no
Mhm.
real emotion. And that's what I see in Luna's face.
Yeah. It's very, very cute. It's also very well made. Very
It's
well
also
made.
one piece. There's
Mhm.
nothing falling off of it.
Correct. Yeah. It's one of my favorite pieces. We also saw an explosion in the Tsum Tsums, which you showed. You showed Naru and Umino.
I think I have a few other ones. I have Christmas ones, which is a thing.
Yes. I believe everyone got one except I don't think there's a Nehelenia one.
No.
So everyone has gotten one. All the villains. I mean, even the Amazon Quartet got one. The Witches 5, I think, got one. If I remember, because I own like pretty much all of them. The only ones I don't own are the Eternals right now, because I have not been buying merch for the last, I want to say, 2 years. I have not really. I used to be a big merch hunter. Shopping Yahoo auctions in Japan, using a proxy. The only thing I've gotten recently, Japan re-released the Sailor Moon vinyl records. And I was able to snag one of the spots. It was the vinyl record that like Hot Topic had for a moment. And it's supposed to be all the original songs, and it's 2 vinyl records. It's a special. So that's the only merch that I have recently purchased. It was because I have been looking for it. I don't even have a vinyl player. But I was like, I'll get
That's me
one.
with the laser discs. I
I'll
don't
get
have a
one.
player.
Oh my God, laser. Jesus Christ, my back just hurt. My knees just cracked. The check engine lights just flashed a little bit. Oh my god, laser discs. Whew,
Oh,
it hurts.
and this one's pointed at you, Celine, I swear.
No one mourns
No
the
one
wicked,
mourns
aka. You know what we didn't get on? The fact that Nehelenia was supposed to get an adventure doll.
Oh.
I just heard that mic come so high.
Oops.
Nehelenia was supposed to get an adventure doll. It was in a toy magazine advertising her next to Super Chibi Moon. Nehelenia was supposed to get an adventure doll. And that is around the time they stopped producing the dolls. Hold on. I need to. Whoever owns the prototype of this damn doll, what do you want? You want my firstborn? You want my kidney? You want a piece of my liver? Let's go. Give me, because there's got to be a prototype because they take it's an actual picture of the doll in the magazine.
Have you discussed this with your firstborn?
They can take my firstborn. He's expensive. Please take him. He's almost 21. Please take him. You can have him. So sorry. They were talking about Nehelenia, and I was like, wait.
Oh yeah. Don't forget about your
Nehelenia
doll,
almost gets
'cause
no
I know you
merch.
do it.
I have one piece of Nehelenia merch, and it is 2 pieces, and it's 2 acrylic stands. One of them that's the Sailor Moon drops, and the one that was released with her movie. That's it.
That's a crime. Would you ever get the resins from like E2046?
If I had the money, I would, because I've seen the Nehelenia one.
She's lovely. And there's a child Nehelenia. Have you seen the Diana Hase one?
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Uranus and Neptune E2046 one.
Neptune's one of my favorite figures. I always look at her and she's spinning in the water.
So good. Like, they're just so
The only
good.
thing is, does yours lean? Like, she's in a pose like this, holding the planet. Okay.
Yes.
I have to like lean her forward.
And her heels are like,
yeah. Neptune, you're
no,
drunk.
it's funny because I have her sitting next to a Haku from Spirited Away, who's also being encircled by the dragon. So it's like, that would be a hell of a conversation, Haku from Spirited Away and Sailor Neptune. But
Brandon, 2 very intense characters.
Brendan has a question. There are figures of the villains. It's just Beryl, Dr. Tomoe, what's her English name? Krahi. Is that her English name?
Well, you know, we're actually forgetting the Pulip dolls, because the Pulips
the Pulip.
Yeah, the Pulips have Mistress 9, Black Lady, and then the Poochie Petite line, which maybe you missed it, Brandon, but these little guys, they're missing the Helenia though, but there are a lot of villains from there. And also the little, actually, I think Beryl might be the only cat.
Yeah, Beryl is the only cat.
Yeah. Not a lot when it comes to villains. There is a line though, you guys have probably seen it, by Monogram International. It's these guys. They've made all of the season 1 villains, all of the season 2 villains, season 3 now. Hopefully season 4 is next.
I'm waiting for Nehelenia. I'm waiting.
It's gotta come.
I will buy the whole box.
I recommend buying the whole box, by the way. It just takes away all your stress.
Yep.
You just buy
and then you just sell the extras.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you have any extra Uranus and Neptune, you know somebody who has very low tolerance of saying no.
What? Who could that be? I don't know.
Who? Where is she?
Who could it be? Yeah, I think I'm only missing one of the lines that came out. It's just because, like I said, I have not been buying merch. I've been buying books instead because the world's on fire and I like to lose myself in maladaptive dreaming of reading my books. So unfortunately, Sailor Moon merch can't do that. But yeah, you're right. I forgot about those. I was like, oh, you're right.
You
We
know what it
have
is?
been.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
recently we've only gotten like high quality figures. And that's the how do you pronounce it? Chouette? Chouette?
The Figuarts Zero Chouette.
Yeah, the Figuarts Zero Chouette. We got Eternal Sailor Moon and we got Sailor Cosmos. Sailor Cosmos literally just dropped.
Oh,
Um,
wait, actually, I don't think those are Chouettes. I think they're just Figuart Zeros. But I will say, and I know you
no,
love Sailor
they're
Cosmos. Her sculpt is
Hang
not
on, real
great.
quickly.
they're Cholettes. Sorry, I have the box like right next
Are
to
they
me.
real? The thing is, they don't have the ring. You know, the silver ring.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
I
but
wonder
they
what
are.
designates them as a Chouette.
No idea.
I used to think that it was like a scene from the show. You know how there's like Princess
Mhm.
Serenity, like sitting on the moon with her
Mhm.
foot in the water. There's Chibiusa with Pegasus. There's like,
Mhm.
actually, now that I think about it, the dancing figure doesn't have the silver ring.
Mm.
So I don't know what constitutes a Chouette. Then that must mean that the Super Sailor Moon is as well. Right? If the Eternal is. The one that's sitting on the moon.
Oh, there's one more that we missed. The one where she's transforming, like with the ribbons.
Oh, I hate that figure.
Do you want to know why? The only reason I hate that figure is the little chains don't stay in place. They always fall down.
Mine have rusted. They've actually rusted. It's not pleasant. Yeah,
Kidding.
you touch it and you're like, "Ew," and then, like, they're not gold anymore. No. I mean, there's so many things wrong with that figure. Like, I thought when they came out with that figurine of her literally transforming with the ribbons around her, with her creepy open eyes,
Mhm.
that they were at least gonna come back with, like, all the inners, all the outers. Nothing.
Nothing.
Never again. They never tried ever again. Just like the legend figure. They never tried again. Just like
Mhm.
the crystal SH Figuart. They never tried again.
Yep.
I'm not cool with that. That's very and then when they don't make things, they re-release the same replica over and over in a different color.
Correct.
And then they're like, "Aren't you
No.
happy? Hello.
We gave you a blue
Hi."
box. You should be happy.
It even has
I think
sparkles.
one of the problems is, and this is my opinion for well, you know what? Before we get into that, we'll go. I think the last thing is our opinion on merch. In the end,
Okay.
I do want to talk about the greatest thing we did get out of all of this is the Sailor Moon store in Japan,
Oh.
in Harajuku.
You know
I
there's more
think
now, right?
that it is amazing to know that this show is popular enough to have its own store that just expanded and opened up last year, the expansion.
But not
You
only
don't
that, they're open in Kobe, they're open in Osaka, there's one in Kyoto.
Oh,
They've opened
really?
other locations. I like the Osaka one personally. And the thing is, no one knows it's there, so it's full of merch.
I have to when I finally get to go to Japan, I'll have to go. And I think that's one of the crazy things about the Sailor Moon merch, the fact it has a store. Because I don't see, I mean, yes, Pokemon has a store because Pokemon, of course, they've got the Pokemon centers. But for a shoujo anime to have its own store is actually insane. They usually have like Cardcaptor Sakura has pop-ups. That is what they have. They have pop-ups, they have collabs. Because Cardcaptor Sakura is literally a step behind Sailor Moon when it comes to Japan. Cardcaptor Sakura is right behind it for Sailor Moon. Because they get more merch than any other shoujo, to be honest. Is Cardcaptor Sakura. There's a lot of stuff going on for Clamp. A lot of anniversaries going on. So I think it's really cool we got the Sailor Moon store. And now we can get into bootlegs before we do our opinions. You gonna hold up your bootleg? You got it?
Wait, I got it.
You got it?
So on my right are the proplicas. On my left are a tiny little bootleg. It's a little chunky compared to these skinny bad boys, and it's a little short, if I may. You'll notice. But it's fun. It's cute. I have another bootleg here too. She is actually falling apart. I got this. All right. So this is a bootleg of
Yeah.
that little lady I just showed you a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Oh,
sitting
they
on the
did
moon.
big ones.
Yeah, it's a big bootleg of the one that's sitting on the candy. But she's using the head sculpt, and you'll see she's tilting the head sculpt of this lady right here.
Okay, but I want
Real
it.
bootleg. Real bootleg. However, so cute.
I want the bootleg. Oh my god.
I
Here.
have two.
Mm. It's so cute.
I think that's all. I have a Cutie Moonrod bootleg here too. Just for funsies. There we go. It's a little short, but honestly, looks just like the real thing, except it has a white crown. So, if you're a kid, it's appropriate length for you. If you're an adult, not so much.
Yeah, you're like, "Ooh, this isn't right." One of the biggest things, and slippers. Slippers.
Oh, this is not a bootleg, but I did bring it out. It is a Sailor Moon Baby G watch. It is a real thing that came out.
I remember those.
I love Baby G watches. I think I can probably show the watch real quick. It is by Casio, from the Casio store. I think I got it from Macy's. And this is not the only one they made. They made a pink one. They made a white one. Comes in a Sailor Moon on the box. Cute print. And oh my god,
I believe
it's
in
like
you.
opening a Talenti ice cream. Well, I left it still in the packaging. But you gotta trust me, it's dark blue and it's real. But when it comes to bootlegs, I've seen bootleg things that are so much cooler than the real things. For example, the Big Girl on the Moon.
The dark side of the bootlegs, and this is something you need to watch out for if you decide you want to do a Sailor Moon collection. Be careful at cons. We don't have boxes to show you, but please look it up. Look up what the Toei official sticker looks like. Those will be on the boxes. They are on all official merchandise, even the United States stuff, the stuff that's stateside.
I got one here.
You do?
That's
okay.
What you're looking for.
So you're looking for this little sticker.
Oh, it's
it'll be in
down.
gold. It'll be in silver. But this is the official Toei sticker. You want to be looking for that on the merch. It'll help you avoid bootlegs. There are some bootlegs that look very much like it. This was back when I was looking for the crystal.
Sorry, I'm looking at this because some official items don't have it though, which makes it even more hard to figure out.
The collabs don't have it.
Yeah, like this is a keyboard.
I'm using it right now.
Collaboration keyboard. I'm using the white one. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I have both of them. I was like Gib.
Yeah, I'm using this white one right here.
Oh
and
my
I don't know if you can
god,
tell.
that's so cute.
Yeah,
I've got Sailor Moon on
pink
it.
one. The white one's sitting up on my keyboard wall.
I love useful items.
Yeah,
I use this every day.
I love that.
I also have a pen somewhere, a very nice pen, one of my favorite pens. Well, can't find it.
I will say the one worst bootleg, and it almost got me. It almost tricked me. I was at a con.
Okay.
And I was looking for the Sailor Moon crystal figures, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I lost your audio for a second.
Oh. You're good.
I was just going. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I was looking for this.
I was talking while you were looking. Cute. That's why.
Oh.
I was like,
I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear anything.
You're fine. This is why I'm saying to be so careful. I was looking for this is when the crystal figures were really big. The Figuarts Zero. They were bootlegging those things. And I was like, oh my God, I found Neptune for like $50. I was a little suspicious because the box was very well done. Sometimes the boxes are not very good. I started looking at her. I was like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Her earrings were missing. Aww. They couldn't get the earrings. when
That
they were
girl,
bootlegging it.
that girl never left the house without a pair of earrings.
Yeah. So there was like certain things that you'd be able to find them that were wrong. And one of them for Neptune was she would always be missing the earrings on the bootleg version for some reason.
And there's another thing too. Those bootlegs for the Figuart Zeros are missing the Bandai logo, but some of them still have the Bandai logo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you can always tell kind of like by the print quality. It'll have like lower quality, like what's it called, DPI, like depth
Yeah.
per inch or something.
Correct. Because they're copying. They're literally taking a copy. They, they grab the box and then they photocopy it and then they're reprinting it. So they lose the quality when they do that.
Yeah, they're like pixelated. Like someone saying in the comments, they're pixelated.
Yes. Or they're a lighter color. They almost look like they are sun damaged. Something to note is that bootleg boxes are also quite pixelated, and if the original merchandise is made by Bandai, the bootleg boxes don't have the Bandai logo on the bottom corner. Correct. That's how you can find bootleg Nendos, by the way, because it does not have the Good Smile logo on there. Always look for the Good Smile logo. If you do not see it, that is not a Nendo. But yeah, so always be careful when you're buying from people.
I have Nendos here too, but it's Tamahome from Fushigi.
Tamahome! Fushigi Yuki.
What are you doing in this anime? But just kidding, just kidding.
But yeah, so be careful when you're buying merch. Watch out for bootlegs. That's the only advice we can give. Look for the sticker, look for the Bandai symbol on there. And if the figure looks off, more than likely it's a bootleg. Like literally Google the picture of what the figure's supposed to look like. And it'll save your boot. It'll save your booty. It'll save your wallet. Unless if you like it, buy the bootleg. If you want to buy the bootleg, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
As long as you're not getting overcharged for it.
You know what's one of the strangest piece of merchandise that I own? Do you remember back in the 90s when they had Sailor Moon costumes legit for sale? I have all the inners and Moon. So, long story short, the reason I have Luna and everything is because I was a party princess for somebody whose best friend was Naoko Takeuchi's representative in Mexico.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Yeah, so I had an entire collection from him because he's like, my friend gave me all this Sailor Moon merch. I don't like Sailor Moon. You like it. Please take it. It's taking up space. And I'm like, yes. And I even had an entire collection of every single volume of Sailor Moon, the manga, in Spanish, first edition, first run.
Wow.
That Miss Dream bought it from me.
Good old Miss Dream.
I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, it's a whole collection. The spines hadn't even been opened. Like,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We're like, that's beautiful.
So that's how I got such rare merch. It was complete luck.
That's usually how it goes. You know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah.
Merch that I got like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I have merch like that, but it's not Sailor Moon. It's this poster right here. It's from Return to Oz. Very good movie. Traumatizing, but good.
Is that the one with the queen with the different heads?
Yes. And she's actually, can I tilt this? She's the one featured on the poster, holding the Oz symbol. I do love a lot of things that aren't Sailor Moon, which is why I get so mad about Sailor Moon's merch.
That's fair, because that's an epic poster.
Thanks. It's signed too. It's the guy that does all the Star Wars posters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bruce Druzan. Yeah, but you had to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, and that guy knew the accountant on the movie. Sailor Moon's just like that too.
Heck yeah.
And then, in the comments, Brayden asks, I am looking online for wands. Looks like they are bootleg as well. Yeah, so there are.
Yeah, unfortunately there are.
I think the easiest ones to get right now are probably the Proplicas, but they are a little bit above like your usual budget for, if you're not a cosplayer, you're not going to want to spend a lot of money on a prop. Um, it's not like it was in the 90s. Like some of this stuff was like $25 brand new at like Suncoast Video, for example.
Mhm.
Um, I think realistically, if you were looking for a wand today, I would number one recommend the Proplicas, but number two, tell you might want to build a little budget for it. The last one that came out was the Luna Pen,
Mhm.
a re-release, and before
Which
that
I was
was the
so happy about.
re-release. It's so cute.
Mhm.
I can barely tell the difference between the
Mhm.
original and the new one. Love the box. The boxes are great.
All right, and then so we talked about the Sailor Moon store and how important that is. We talked about bootlegs.
I think we should give our opinions on merch and like just our final wrap up opinions because we are nearing time.
Yep.
Age, I'm gonna let you go first. Go ahead.
Sure. So, Sailor Moon's a mixed bag. You can have some really high quality and yet affordable toys and figurines. What I wish we could see a little less of is blind box figures, but I do recognize that that is a trend in marketing. I don't think it's going to change. Um, I do love that we have so many things to choose from nowadays. Like you can kind of go get a figure, you can be a prop collector and just collect the brooches. But if you collect villains, I got bad news for you because I wish I could only collect the villains. Sailor Moon is one of my favorite shows. It has so many villains. So if I can impart on anyone who's listening who may have an in at Toei, please make more villain merch. There is a specific line of One Piece and Dragon Ball toys called WCF. Look it up. They're probably somewhere all around me. And if they
Mhm.
made Sailor Moon in the WCF line, I think that would be great. They're about this big. You got 1,000 characters to choose from. And unfortunately, we are beholden to a woman who has made a wonderful property. She is a great artist, and yet she doesn't want to make toys of anything from the classic anime that she did not approve. You will never see the DD girls as merch, and that is the only thing I want. I want to see my sexy DD girls. I want to see my monsters of the day. And I just desire so much more merch than what has been given. I don't think we have enough, as much as we have so much. You could even get Sailor Moon clothes at Ross, but I want more. So my opinion is cool, do better, give me more.
Have you
Mhm.
seen when Mini Couture did the Doom and Gloom girls as dolls?
Beautiful,
So good.
beautiful, incredible artistry.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. Let me get my soapbox. Hold on. Ahem. Toei, I need you to stop screwing with me, okay? I've got a wallet. I've got money. I want to give it to you. Put out more merch. So, my opinion about the Sailor Moon merch. I am tired of the same thing being recycled. It's just over and over again of the same thing. I'm really happy with Cosmos, where we actually got to see something different. We got to see Eternal Sailor Moon finally. We got to see like one Cosmos figure. Oh, well, actually, no, there was a Q posket for Cosmos also, but where they just don't give it enough thought. You mentioned like DBZ and you mentioned One Piece. I used to work for Box Lunch and all these other animes, Demon Slayer, what Chainsaw Man, all these other I understand that they're shonens. But even Cardcaptor Sakura does not recycle the same image over and over again when they're releasing stuff. And Cardcaptor Sakura releases a lot of stuff. Every year there's new Cardcaptor stuff. And that's why I said like Cardcaptors is right behind Sailor Moon when it comes to Mahou Shoujo. Um, so it can be done. I have a very big Cardcaptor Sakura collection. Actually, people are surprised with all the stuff I have. Um, and it's all different stuff. It's not the same images. Even like they don't have a lot of acrylic stands either. A lot of very detailed figures have come out, and there's stuff from like the art books where we're not seeing that for Sailor Moon. there are Sailor Moon art books. Why am I not seeing figures for the art books like I'm seeing for all the Clamp stuff? Like, what's the Clamp figure was $500. It's sold out. I have one of them. It's the one with the Lily of the Valley in the picture frame. And it's huge. It's still in the box because I have nowhere to put it right now. It sold out. It was $500. What is stopping Sailor Moon from doing that? Like, the Sume figure we were talking about, that was like, how much was that figure again?
It was about $600 and it sold out in like 24 hours.
Correct. It did take a long time to get to us because of COVID. And there were a lot of problems due to COVID. I own it also. I thankfully did not get one that was broken, so I didn't have to wait. And, I didn't have any where like the face got scratched. I believe that's what happened to a lot of people.
Yeah, or the hair was
Um,
disconnected on the bangs.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Thankfully that did not happen to me. And it was a very expensive figure. It's very heavy. It's a very heavy figure. But like stuff like that, like why is, this company got a license for it, but why are they selling this but not Toei? It's a very big disconnect. I also would like to see more villain stuff, like Age said. We don't have enough villains. Nehelenia is the biggest one that does not get stuff. I don't know why. And people are like, oh, because it wasn't the most liked. I was like, every Sailor Moon fan I talk to love Nehelenia. What are you talking about? Everybody loves Nehelenia. So just like to wrap it up, I am tired of repeats. I feel that Toei does not respect the Sailor Moon fandom, to be honest, because of this. They don't listen to us. What they need, Toei, hire me. Hire me. I will make you so much money with these Sailor Moon fans, myself included, because my paychecks would go right back to you. Hire me. Hire someone who's an actual Sailor Moon fan and listens to the fans. You will make so much money. That's my soapbox, and do better. Do it.
Okay. And then what would I want to see in merchandise? Honestly, we've talked a little bit about this in past episodes, so if I repeat some stuff, it's because it's near and dear to my heart as a wish. I want coffee table of the art books. I want like
Ooh.
beautiful covers with ornate. I want like, give me adult merchandise. Like, give me the high quality shit. I want the good stuff. Like, give me the good stuff. I want more stuff like the purses and more. Remember how they had all the purses come out?
Like the
I want,
Samantha Vega in leather.
Mhm.
yes, I have one. I have the Uranus and Neptune that was like half and half.
Mhm.
So good. I just, they know every time everything sells out. So what is stopping them? It's not like they have a surplus of merchandise they can't get rid of. We're no longer in the clearance Kmart pricing. We
Exactly.
wish. Give
They're
us that
selling for me
pricing.
too now.
Right?
We've
So
got
yeah,
adult money.
we have adult money and I want adult merchandise.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's how I feel. All
I
right.
think that was a great wrap up for that.
That was so good.
That was great. All right.
Okay.
Is it?
Am I ready?
It's your turn.
It's my turn. It's me. Okay. And this brings us to the end of our show. Thank you for joining us for the 4th episode of season 4. We are going on our next Moony adventure on May 10th with The Last Black Moon, with the topic of the Sailor Moon Super Live Tour. I'm super excited because I will be seeing it at the end of the month in New York. I will try to take pictures for Michi to be able to display. That's going, it's going through the US right now. If you get to see it, please do. This is a once in a lifetime. We don't know if they're ever going to do this again. We were lucky they even brought it to the US. We'd also like to thank tonight's special guest, Age Sailor Tortilla. Please go ahead and plug yourself.
Sure. So I'm Sailor Tortilla on any and all socials, including Chinese social media. I do YouTube videos infrequently, but I promise you, I am always talking about new and upcoming Sailor Moon merch on Instagram. I would love to just chit chat with you. Come on down, leave a comment, DM me. I am kind of a hermit at this point. So I do really love Sailor Moon. And, you know, one day I'll talk about a different show.
See, they keep trying to make me talk about a different show, and I keep just circling back.
That's what happens. But yeah, I am so glad you guys brought me on again. Thank you so much to my wonderful hosts. But yeah, just come find me. I'm on the internet. I'm an internet person. I talk to people I've never met all the time. It's wonderful.
Yes, thank you so much for returning. Very excited that because Michi was like, hey, Tortilla's coming back, and I was like, heck yeah, let's go. And then I was like, merch,
Aw.
even better. All right. Remember, Moonies, to follow us on all of our socials. All those links are in the link tree in our description. Previously recorded Eternal Mooncast content is available on YouTube, so remember to hit the bell to receive our notifications. Okay. For Bishojo Senshi Slumber Party reactions, you can find them on our Patreon for free. This, if you guys don't know, for new, that is Michi and Monica and Raelia. They react to the the Deke dubbed version of Sailor Moon, and it's very funny. And our next discussion episode will be coming out on May 3rd for Michi's birthday episodes. So thank you for joining us tonight, my friends. I am your co-host, Celine, and you can find me on all my socials as Azira_witch. I stream on the Saturdays and Monday nights, and I am going to be your next favorite magical girl VTuber here over on Twitch. Okay, so you can find me everywhere as Azira_witch.
All right, and as always, I've been your host, Michi. You can find my personal socials at MEW21, some_cosplay. For my K-pop reactions, you can head over to K-pop Voyage on YouTube. We react to K-pop and different groups. It's a ton of fun. That's with Monica, Julia, and some of my other friends that like to join the voyage. Likes, comments, follows, and everything is appreciated for Eternal Mooncast. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok. We love reading all your comments on YouTube. As a quick reminder, these are just our personal opinions, and we celebrate all respectful Moonie opinions here. We're working hard on the show to be a place for Moonies to come together and discuss their theories, their love and passion for Sailor Moon. Remember, as Sailor Moon once said, you can't judge how beautiful a girl really is by the way she looks. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye-bye.